It's the first game in the history for Western Kentucky in Conference USA, and they are certainly sky high tonight here at home as they welcome in from the Mid-American Conference the Bowling Green Falcons. And college football on CBS Sports Network is proudly presented by Geico. A great night for opening night here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, as Bowling Green, the Falcons, visit the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. The two head coaches, both of their first seasons at their respective schools. Jeff Brom on the right for Western Kentucky and Dino Babers on the left for Bowling Green. It's great to be with you here tonight. My name is Ben Holden. It is a pleasure and an honor to be with you here for the first game this season in Conference USA. Well, a new season brings new hope, new optimism, and a fresh start. And for Western Kentucky, they've got two fronts there to talk about. The first game in Conference USA and their first game with their new head coach, Jeff Brom, who last year was their offensive coordinator. Now in his home state, he was a star quarterback at Louisville. He's running the reins here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Speaking of quarterbacks, we bring in our quarterback. We are proud, we're thrilled to have Kevin O'Connell. He was an all-Mountain West Conference performer in his playing days as a QB, and he spent 5 years in the NFL. And Kevin, let's talk about Bowling Green. They're a team coming back with a lot of talent. They did a lot of big things last year. They too have a new head coach.
A 2013 MAC championship, 10 wins to go along with that. In comes Dino Babers, the exciting, up-tempo, aggressive coach. I think his style is going to fit perfect, especially with quarterback Matt Johnson. Dual threat signal caller. He excelled in his first year as the starter and seemed to get better in every game, including the MAC championship game. 5 touchdowns on his way to an MVP performance. Running back Travis Green switched from wide receiver to running back last spring football. All he did was go out and set a school record for rushing yards in a season. Vision, burst, and a special ability to make the first defender miss.
Well, a couple of guys we'll certainly keep our eyes on. Star power for those two guys for Bowling Green's side. For Western Kentucky, Kevin, they've got a defensive player that's arguably one of the best in the country we'll talk about. We're going to start talking about one of their other upperclassmen, their quarterback, Brandon Dowdy.
Brandon Dowdy went through a roller coaster season a year ago. The low coming early, 8 turnovers in 2 games before he was benched, but he came great down the stretch, winning 4 games, 2 fourth quarter comebacks. Dowdy's consistency is going to be the key for the Western Kentucky offense. The key for the Western Kentucky defense is senior Cam Thomas. Number 19 in red tonight, folks. NFL scouts love this guy, his size, instincts, and ball skills. The defense has a ton of production to replace from a year ago. He needs to make some big plays and get them off to a great start.
He won't only have our eyes on him, but he'll have some scouts on him tonight as well. There are a lot in the building. Let's go to the third member of our broadcast team now, down to the field, Courtney Fallon.
Thank you very much, Ben. I'm here with Dino Babers, 2-time Coach of the Year at Eastern Illinois, taking the reins of this Bowling Green program. How attractive did this team look to you when you knew you had 16 returning starters coming back?
Well, I tell you what, when you saw this football team play last year and beat Northern Illinois, you know it had great character. I'm just happy to be a part of it. These are some great young men on this football team. I'm really looking forward to watching them play tonight.
Your offenses tend to go at a lightning pace. How does this heat and humidity affect them?
I don't know if this weather is going to affect us or not, but we're going to try to push as hard as we can. We're hydrated, and we'll see what happens tonight.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck tonight. Ben, back to you.
Thank you, Courtney.
Well, let's talk about the weather, the temperature. We inch closer to kickoff in the mid-80s. It got up to close to 100 degrees here today in Western Kentucky. The wind is south at 8 miles an hour, and it's a partly cloudy, little haze in the sky. But Kevin O'Connell, it is a beautiful night for opening night here in Conference USA. It's a beautiful night to watch two teams that have a ton of offense, and they're set to put it on display here tonight.
Very excited on both sides, Ben. There's a lot to look forward to, a lot of questions that we need to see answered. Obviously the up-tempo from Bowling Green, but Jeff Brom, I think they have some tricks up their sleeve as well for Western Kentucky.
So the Hilltoppers with those chrome helmets in their red uniforms. Bowling Green, the orange, the white uniforms. Falcons will return it. Ronnie Moore, number 5, and Gibbons, number 2. Back there, it's Moore taking it inside of the 5-yard line. He is a speedster. He's a very explosive player, and he's going to give the Falcon offense good field position out across the 25-yard line. And we take a look now at the Chick-fil-A Bowling Green offense. We get a look at that. It's time now to take a look at those Chick-fil-A starting lineups. The magic of technology. Love it. Matt Johnson, he's their leader. You talked about him. He does so many things so well, his numbers from last year.
He was lights out, Ben, and I think he's going to be a perfect fit for this offense. It's about completions. The next step for him, making plays from the pocket.
So Bowling Green, they have a saying this season, Falcon fast. And the guy that has the green light literally is Travis Green. Gets the carry. And we're going to try to take a look at their offense. Anybody stand out there in your eyes we need to keep our eyes on as well?
For me, it's Ronnie Moore. I mean, lightning fast. You said it. He was lights out down the stretch. He had over 100 yards in the first quarter of the MAC championship game to go along with a touchdown. Explosive player.
So a pickup of 5 on the first down run by Travis Green. Delivered here, and Johnson hands off again to Green. Good job to make the tackle to bring up a 3rd and short as we take a look at Western Kentucky's defense.
Obviously, we talked about Cam Thomas in the opener, but Gavin Rocker, can he get the pressure that they need from him off the edge?
3rd and short from the 34-yard line. Johnson's got all day, fires over the middle, and the pass incomplete. Unable to make the catch and come in with it. The Falcons were, and they'll bring on the punt team. The intended target was Heath Jackson.
A little miscommunication on the top side. Matt Johnson wanted to go right with that football. It was only a 3rd and 2, so you expect a little bit of a quick hitter. Did a nice job coming back. You got to make that play early on in a football game. That first down, that first down, Ben, sometimes is the hardest thing to get.
Joe Davidson, their punter, a redshirt freshman out of Findlay, Ohio, the same hometown of Steeler quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, and he forces the punt return to be taken inside of the 20-yard line. They'll start in the vicinity of the 17-yard line, will the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. So Western Kentucky, Kevin, nice job defensively. That's the kind of start they wanted.
If Jeff Brown could have had one choice, it would be to have Bowling Green start with a 3 and out and allow his offense to try to go out and answer.
So now it's Brandon Dowdy, veteran guy out of Davie, Florida. Leon Allen, the back next to him. Allen's going to get it on first down, and Leon Allen is tripped up. Nice open field tackle. And we take a look at the rest of the Hilltopper offense.
Dowdy, no question, is going to be the key, but this receiving core, led by their senior Willie McNeil, I'm excited about this guy. Got a chance to watch him a little bit last year. Expect for him to get a lot of touches tonight.
Dangerfield, the JUCO guy. He's a dangerous guy, they think, too. First down, they get the pass out over the 30 to about the 32-yard line. There is Dangerfield. Take a look at the Bowling Green defense. Last 2 years, they've been the MAC's best defensive unit. Who do you highlight there?
Well, they're seniors at every level of the defense, Ben. But I love Gabe Martin. Returns from injury, still was a second-team All-MAC performer a year ago.
So the sticks move. Taywon Taylor, the reception. They get it out close to midfield, do the Hilltoppers.
Already we're noticing something new for Western Kentucky. This tempo, we expected to see it at some point, but we're seeing it right off the bat.
Here's Dowdy, stands in over the middle, caught and on the run. And here we come in thinking it's going to be Bowling Green running with a floor, pedal down to the floor, and McNeil makes the catch. And he's got Western Kentucky going. From the 41. Pick up a couple on that pass to the field side to McNeil again. So Western Kentucky from the 39. Jeff Brom. Last year as the offensive coordinator didn't call the plays. Bobby Petrino did. Now he's the head coach. Now he's calling the plays. Dowdy, nice touch. They're going to be close to the first down. They're going to give it to him. It looks like they're awful close. Dowdy 5 for 5 to start.
Perfect start for him. Talking about what Coach Braum told us yesterday, they wanted to get him easy completions. He's distributing this football all over the field. We've seen 3 or 4 guys catch it already. Great start for Brandon Dowdy.
So the Hilltoppers continue to chew up yardage and move the chains. Mitchell Henry, the outstanding tight end. They've got 3 of them, and he's one of them.
Right now, they're spreading the field wide, and every guy is a viable receiver. They're going 4 wide, and keep an eye on those tight ends, Ben. Western Kentucky really wants to utilize them a bit more this year.
From the 20. Trickery to the far side, inside of the 10, and forced out of bounds. Kylan Towner with the carry, getting him down to the 5-yard line.
We've seen the quick passing game. This is the changeup now. The fly sweep to the wide receiver, trying to get the speed out on the edge. Love the opening series play calling. Probably a script that they had coming in 9 to 10 plays, but it is sure effective so far.
On the ground, burrowing his way down to about the 2-yard line was Leon Allen. And today's Red Zone is being brought to you by Verizon. Here go the Hilltoppers in a hurry up. Allen, feed him again to the end zone. Touchdown, Western Kentucky.
This Western Kentucky team excelled in short yardage a year ago. Look at all that movement up front, and Leon Allen at 235. If there's something we know that he's going to be successful at, it's that short yardage and goal line. What a drive to start this football game from Western Kentucky.
Garrett Schwetman on to try to tack on the PAT. Bowling Green saying that the Hilltoppers moved on the right side, but we'll let Brad Rogers, our referee, give us the answer, as we'll hear from Brad momentarily.
Offside defense with contact number 33, half the distance to the goal. We play the try.
Taylor Royster, the one that was guilty of jumping in there. So Garrett Schwetman is their guy last year in the kicking department. Junior out of Murray, Kentucky. Dowdy's the holder. And the Hilltoppers look razor sharp.
In a real fight, we hit first, okay? We hit first. And we hit again, and we hit again. And when they hit us, it doesn't affect us. When they hit us, it doesn't affect us. And we continue to fight, okay? Let's get ready to go do this thing, all right? Let's get ready to go do this thing. For 60 minutes, we play together, okay? We fight our tail off, and we never give up. You guys ready to do this thing?
Jeff Braum getting his team fired up before the game. We appreciate the Hilltoppers letting our cameras in there. I'm ready to play. How about you?
It's very easy to see how they were able to come out. First of all, get a 3-and-out stop against a very good Bowling Green offense. But then how about they take the field as an offense and go directly down the field. Brandon Dowdy was perfect on the drive, and they punch it in with a red zone touchdown. That was an impressive start in all facets of the football game so far, Ben, and you can see why from Coach Braum.
83-yard drive, 10 plays. Bowling Green got 8 on their first possession. So Matt Johnson and the Falcon offense, they're ready to come on the field. The kick is going to go to Ronnie Moore. He's going to take it about 5 deep, and Gibbons said, you know what? Stay there. Let's just take it from the 25-yard line as we look at the scoring drive. 10 plays, 83, as it took a little over 3 minutes. Kevin, and Allen 2 yards and in for the score.
The thing that jumps out to me is the tempo. We knew that they would play with it at times, but Brandon Dowdy in complete control of the Hilltopper offense, 7 of 7 on the drive. And I'll tell you what, easy completions is exactly what Jeff Braum told us they wanted to do with him. And now here comes Matt Johnson back onto the field. And you got to find a way to, even though he's experienced and successful a year ago, you got to get him comfortable here in his opening game in 2014. Expect to see some quick completions, some screens, some things to get him going.
Matt Johnson, the redshirt junior out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He's got all day. Now he's going to sling one wide open down the middle of the field, and it's dropped by the tight end, Chris Pullman, who had 6 points if he caught the football. Instead, it's 2nd and 10.
They're going to motion the ball, the running back out of the backfield. Matt Johnson using pump fakes, something he does often. And I'll tell you what, Chris Pullman gets lost in the middle of the secondary. You cannot allow that to happen. You don't know whether it's on the safety or the linebacker, maybe in man coverage. But wow, you'd like to take advantage of that one.
On the ground, and not much doing for Travis Green. He got maybe a yard for Dino Babers in the Bowling Green offense. Let's now take a look at tonight's quarterback profile, brought to you by True Biotics, a daily probiotic from the nutrition experts at One A Day. Last year, his numbers very good, Kevin.
Very good, and finished this season very strong. Really seemed to take ownership of that quarterback position.
Here he is on the run, fires, catch is made across the 30-yard line. The reception was made there by Dieter.
Here's the issue. You have some drops, and your tempo is great. They're going fast. They were able to get somebody wide open deep in the secondary of Western Kentucky, but all of a sudden, a completion there well short of the first down. You're punting it right back to Brandon Dowdy and a really hot Western Kentucky offense.
Davidson's punt fielded on the run. They're going to have very good field position. Are the Hilltoppers once again out near the 35-yard line. Western Kentucky faithful have turned out their team off to a great start, leading Bowling Green 7-0.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. By Just for Men, just you and the look you want. And by True Biotics, the daily probiotic from the nutrition experts at One A Day.
Jeff Brom, first game as a head coach in the middle of your picture there, and Kevin, his team, razor sharp on their opening drive, their last drive.
Get the ball to your playmakers. The tempo was up. He looks in complete control of this offense, and I got to tell you, getting the ball out of his hands so quickly, the youth and the lack of experience on the offensive line is not going to matter. And by the time they drove into the red zone, you've worn down that defense, playing basically Falcon fast football right back at them. I love the start for Western Kentucky.
Got very good field position to start from the 34-yard line with 9:05 remaining here in the opening quarter. Numbers on Dowdy there, and got it done. He was 7 for 7 on the opening drive. Here he goes on 1st and 10, fakes the handoff, got time, now fires, caught at the 50-yard line. A nice grab by Taylor. He's made a couple so far tonight.
Ben, I know you noticed yesterday watching film, but the play action fakes of Brandon Dowdy, they were good a year ago, and he's picking up right where he left off. That's how you get guys open in the middle of his own defense.
Here's Allen on the ground. Fight for trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he's going to lose a little bit there.
Number 11, Matt Johnson.
Take a look at tonight's quarterback profile on Brandon Dowdy. It's brought to us by True Biotics, a daily probiotic from the nutrition experts at One A Day.
You see the yards, you see the completion percentage. The highs of last season were obviously those two stats. The interceptions, got to do a good job bringing down that number.
2nd and 11 after the loss. And the last carry, the ball looked like it was jarred loose back at the 45. But Dowdy, you see there, comes up with it. Brian Thomas put the pressure on there, knocking it loose.
Bowling Green feels really strongly about 3 defensive ends they have, but you'll see the bull rush right there, and he's doing that against a pretty good right tackle in Cameron Clemens. Great matchup to watch all day. Brian Thomas got the better of Cameron Clemens right there.
Thomas, coaches told us they feel clearly one of the best defensive ends in the Mid-American Conference. They've got a lot of athletic guys. That pass zinged over the middle, And unable to pull it in was Nicholas Norris, the sophomore, who made some big catches for him a year ago.
Dowdy clearly thinks that was his fault. Ball a little high over the middle. You always want to avoid high throws over the middle. Got caught a couple times last year with the same mistake. Lucky that time that one didn't come back the other way. 3rd down and longs, Ben. That's what Western Kentucky wants to avoid by a lot of those completion-type plays and help keep their senior quarterback out of situations where he might make that mistake.
Back to be in position to field that punt was Burbrink, one of the best in the country. Did Western Kentucky save that? They got it? No. They tried to knock it back into the field of play. It was close. We'll take a look back. Referees are discussing. We'll get a ruling from Rogers, our official.
By rule, the ball will be placed at the 20-yard line. Kicking team member batted the ball from inside the end zone back out into the field of play. It's 1st down.
Fans might notice there's a big difference from the NFL. In the NFL, you're allowed to pop that thing out as long as you don't make contact with the end zone, but that football goes across the line, and the second it does that, that referee right there has got to mark that thing back. We don't have a great look at it down the line, but that official was all over it. Would have been a huge play pinning this offense back on their 1-yard line.
That was the defensive coordinator's son, Nick Holt, that made a great effort to try to get that ball, but unable to, and pick up about 1.5 yards here for Bowling Green. So far, Kevin, this offense that they're touting as Falcon Fast has been 2 possessions and 2 3-and-outs. Here's Garrick Dieter, makes a catch, breaks a tackle, and he's going to get a Bowling Green 1st down, their 1st in the game.
Getting it out to the SMU transfer. He's obviously a guy that can make plays down the field, but get an easy completion. Nice job there by Dino Babers' offense.
Here come the Falcons. This is the way they want to turn and burn. They want to go fast. They want to go awful fast. You see him trying to crank things up on the sideline, on Western Kentucky's sideline. That was Nick Holt in the middle of your picture. Defensive coordinator for Western Kentucky.
The officials up top there having a tough time keeping up with Falcon Fast football.
Yes, and this play is going to come back.
There's no foul for a false start. I blew the ready for play and the players jumped. There's no foul.
Johnson from the shotgun, fakes it, now on the run, makes the throw, caught by Dieter. So he's been heavily involved in this possession. And we mentioned Nick Holt, the linebacker, and the defensive coordinator, his father. Let's go down to Courtney with more.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You know, Nick Holt, familiar name on the sideline, not only on the field, but as the defensive coordinator of the Hilltoppers. You know, while Bobby Petrino was still here, he was actively recruiting Nick Holt Jr. without his father even knowing. The senior Holt thought he would want to stay on the West Coast, but was more than happy to welcome his son into Bowling Green, Kentucky, and coach him for the next couple of years. Back to you.
There's a look at Holt. Aggressive, physical, and strong. Coppett, he's getting some carries here for Bowling Green. Gets down close to the 20-yard line. And it took a couple of Hilltopper defenders to yank him down. Now this offense getting a little rhythm, Kev.
We expected to see Coppett early. Obviously, you want to keep Travis Green fresh. But how about Coppett running through tackles? More of a shifty guy, but looks very strong early on.
Now they go back to the young man that set their record last year with a great season, Travis Green. He gets him inside of the 15-yard line. 2nd and 4. Green again takes on the defender. That was Holt that got to him, and he's shoved back. So Travis Green, the redshirt junior from Carroll City, Florida, 1594, his rush total a year ago. He can get it done, but he's not going to get it done here as the Hilltoppers get some great penetration. There's Holt once again.
Up-tempo offenses, when they face a 3rd and 1, you got to be able to get some push. Gets a little penetration, Holt's there. Looked like Duclos might have been on that as well.
So 4th down, Bowling Green. Lined up to go for it, 5-1. Johnson keeps, spins, can he get free? Stretches, and looks like, in my opinion, he's going to be short where they spotted it.
I don't think it's very close, Ben. I think he's about a yard short.
So a huge stop for Western Kentucky. Bowling Green decides to not go for any points. They go for the 1st down. They don't get it.
You got to wonder, Dino Babers, first game, you want to be aggressive. You want to instill in your players, we're going to try to win every snap. But points there. Obviously, Western Kentucky's on the board already. You get a good drive going. Obviously, field goal would have been nice there. Coach Babers, very aggressive early on.
Timeout here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Home squad leads 7-0. Get ready for the biggest event of the fall when Thursday Night Football comes to CBS. This is the place to be starting September 11th when the Steelers visit the Ravens. Your football week starts here on CBS. And a great matchup to start with, and a great start, Kevin O'Connell, for Jeff Fromm, the new head coach, to see the yardage. But his Hilltoppers have been really sharp.
Pretty impressive. And to think that he was the offensive coordinator last year but didn't call the plays. So not only is he in control of the entire sideline tonight, the entire football team, he's also calling the plays for the first time in a while for him.
Nick Holt, he stayed. Of course, Bobby Petrino went up to Louisville, about an hour and a half north of here. And Petrino wanted Holt bad, but he wanted to stay here. And some of that had to do with what Courtney was talking about, the relationship with his son.
He was honest. He told us it was the big reason why he stayed, to coach his kid for once in his life. I love that.
It's great stuff. So with 4:41 to go in the opening quarter, 1st and 10 from the 12. Toss left, Leon Allen. Boy, did they talk highly of Allen. Of course, if you're not familiar, Western Kentucky lost a young man, Antonio Andrews, who the last 2 years led the nation in all-purpose yardage. They're very high on Allen, though.
They were not as quick to compare as I think we were expecting, but I think they think Leon Allen can have a huge impact.
Here's an impact right down the middle, and it's dropped, and on the run, it was Dangerfield. Oh, he's trying to get respect with his team in his first game, and he could not make the catch on an absolute laser from Brandon Dowdy.
You are hearing Jared Dangerfield's name a lot around campus. The transfer from the JUCO level, he's big and physical, but how about getting behind the defense here? You have to finish that play. Ben, early on in the season, all the momentum up for grab in this football game. Huge play right there.
3rd and 11 now from the 11. Delay on the ground. Allen shakes free, got a hole, puts his head down, and Allen's going to have the 1st down. What a great piece of running there, Kevin.
3rd and 11, you go with the draw. Impressive call because it keeps your quarterback out of a decision, a bad decision. But Leon Allen, one of the things watching him on tape was his vision. I thought it needed to improve. We saw him find the hole right there and hit that thing 100 miles an hour.
Inside of 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Western Kentucky, they're the team going fast. Taywan Taylor makes another catch. He's been very involved here tonight.
He really has, but they want to distribute the football all over the field. 1st downs, Ben. You get those, they fuel up-tempo offenses. Great work. Check out his fellow receivers blocking for him. Everybody's got to do their job in this offense to make it go.
That was the 9th 1st down so far for Western Kentucky. Allen with the carry. There's an injured Bowling Green player down in the field, so the Falcon training staff out to tend to him. And at this point, can't see who it is, so we're not going to speculate. We'll wait till they take a look, and we can get a good look at his number. We'll take a timeout here from Bowling Green, Kentucky, with Western Kentucky leading Bowling Green 7-0. Late stages of the opening quarter. Jared Dangerfield, he had a touchdown. Bowling Green had a play where they had a touchdown. We look at some of the miscues so far, Kevin.
A couple guys getting wide open down the football field. Not easy to accomplish as an offense. You got to finish these plays. Dangerfield with the last one for Western Kentucky. This came on 2nd and 11. could have put them up 14-0 in this game at home, all the momentum on your side. Those are plays that you can look back on later in this game if things tighten up.
He's got 2 for 18, but he certainly, you can bet, is hoping he gets a shot at redemption in this game. As we went to break, Gabe Martin was the Bowling Green player that was slow to get up, and certainly a scare with him. They called him their best defensive player, and last year he missed the final 6 games with a knee injury. We'll get you an update when we can. 2nd and 8. Toss, Allen knifes through there. Good job coming over by Royster to make the tackle. Let's go to Courtney with more on Martin.
Yeah, you guys were talking about Martin. Came off the field, seems to be okay. Good mobility in those legs. Right now, he's working on the bike with a couple of trainers, working on his right knee. But right now, he's heading over to the sideline to pit line.
Thank you, Courtney. Such a valuable part of their team, as we mentioned. This is going to be a first down to the 45-yard line. So Dowdy continues to be sharp. There's Gabe Martin, number 11, a good sign for Bowling Green fans.
I think everybody took a deep breath when they saw number 11 down on the field.
Another quick bullet delivered. Here goes Western Kentucky. Off and running is Taywan Taylor, diving in for the touchdown. Western Kentucky. There is a flag that will likely be for excessive celebration, with a dive in there and the celebration after, but an exciting play as we look back, Kevin.
Ben, we expected to see these short screen passes from Bowling Green. Completion plays getting yardage to their playmakers, but how about Taywan Taylor? A year ago as a freshman, really came on late in the season, but he takes that all the way, the speed. There were some defenders that had some angles on him there, and he just flat out outran everybody.
Sophomore out of Louisville.
You hear a ton about McNeil and Dangerfield, but Taywan Taylor showing up. We've seen the backs make plays out of the backfield. I think the theme
After
so
the
far...
score, unsportsmanlike behavior, number 2. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Brad Rogers with the verdict.
Obviously, the theme so far is playmakers for Western Kentucky in this tempo. Bowling Green, even though they play against it every day in practice, to me, they seem completely off balance right now. Jeff Brom, he's won the first quarter so far as the play caller for the Hilltoppers.
Absolutely. Schwetman on to try to tack on the PAT, make it a 14-0 game. 154 yards passing for Dowdy so far, and Taylor with the touchdown, Kevin.
Taywan Taylor taking the short screen. Speed, folks. It's quarterback's best friend. Taywan Taylor, we obviously saw him with the speed to break it, but it takes your fellow wide receivers making some big blocks for you. You'll see some of the other guys on this offense making big old blocks for their receiver, Taywan Taylor. Right there, and then the rest is just on him. You'll see guys with flat out angles on him, but you're not going to catch Taywan Taylor when he gets in the open field. One of the best things Jeff Brom loves about him is his ability to make plays after the catch. We saw that firsthand right there.
Played in 11 games last season, started 7, had 24 receptions, 270 yards. He's approaching halfway to his season total. He's got 100 yards tonight, you see, 4 catches and the touchdown. A very, very solid start for him.
And I think the biggest thing is just the completions and these playmakers making plays. Last year it was a lot about Antonio Andrews. Yeah. Establishing the run, pounding the football, and then maybe taking some shots off of it. Problem is when you throw the ball down the field like they did, that's where a lot of the interceptions come in. So we're seeing a little bit more of a production-based offense passing-wise. Short passes, get yards after the catch, and Brandon Dowdy making great decisions and accurate throws.
I think when you looked at Western Kentucky coming into their season, the question was the loss of Andrews, and the key guys they lost on their defense is Lonnie Moore is dropped. Nice tackle made. A beautiful job on the stop there made by Shaquille Johnson. And we want to remind you about our Labor Day weekend coverage of the U.S. Open. CBS has full coverage 11 a.m. Eastern to 6 Eastern. CBS Sports Network has today at the U.S. Open 10 a.m. Eastern, and live additional coverage at 11 a.m. Eastern as well, Labor Day weekend. So a flag on the kickoff. It's going to go backwards for Bowling Green. There's Nick Holt. The glasses down on the bridge of the nose. He is in prime form tonight. We had a great time talking to him yesterday in the Hilltopper coaches. Here's a look back at the penalty, Kevin.
1st and 10, Bowling Green at its own 11.
Clearly a block in the back right there. Happens a lot on shorter kicks like that. Tremendous job. We've seen good special teams so far by Western Kentucky.
Well, Bowling Green, their first 2 possessions were 3 and outs. This one not off to a good start. As tripped up was Travis Green. Cam Thomas made the tackle. First time we've called his name. We expect to call him a lot more.
Talked about him in the open. He does a little bit of everything really well. How about getting in the backfield and stopping a running back for a loss of yardage?
We had a chance to see him down in the pregame warm-up as Johnson takes a shot, but he overthrows the intended target, looking down there for Darrell Hunter. Roger Lewis, check that. Roger Lewis, the intended target.
Just a little bit off early on for Bowling Green. That throw looked to be right there. Lewis unable to come down with it, little out in front of him. Those are the types of plays, especially from your leader, Matt Johnson. You need him to step up right here. 3rd and 10, big down for Bowling Green on offense.
Lewis, a freshman who enrolled in January. Bowling Green 0 for 3 on 3rd down. That one was a 1st down. In and out of the hands of the intended target there. Unable to make the catch. The Falcons coming up short, as it was Hervé Colby. So the punting team comes on again for the 3rd time for Bowling Green with 1:52 to go in the quarter.
The drops continue to stall drives for Bowling Green, and you can't put that one on the quarterback right there. Makes a great read, had man-to-man coverage, working against Cam Thomas. Throws a good ball. You gotta squeeze that one if you're Hervé Colby.
Davidson standing at his 1 will get this off around the 5. Good job to get down there, but a better job to break free and pick up some positive yardage there by the return man, Kylan Towner. So a short field for the Hilltoppers here to work with 1:41 remaining in the quarter, already leading by 2 scores.
This is danger time for me. If you're Bowling Green, you have to get a stop.
You have to, and of course Bowling Green, Kentucky, where this game's being played. Bowling Green, Ohio, where the Falcons are from. And you see what is in a name. The comparisons, about double the size as Bowling Green, Kentucky. Of course, here in Kentucky in Bowling Green, they make Corvettes. There's a big Corvette rally going on. Some 15,000 in town for the weekend. And Hilltopper offense, Kevin, they've been running like one of those vintage Corvettes. Finely tuned, they got a lot of polish to their game. They look outstanding as Henry made the catch to move the chains.
Great drive starting play right there. They're gonna run all their receivers vertical down the field and come back and find Henry, the tight end. They wanna get those tight ends more involved, catch and run plays just like that.
Dowdy kept it on the ground, looked like a flag. Here comes the laundry. The hand up around the face mask.
Allen on the carry. Flags on the play.
Flags on the field. We'll get the official call from Brad Rogers, our referee.
Personal foul, face mask, defense for 63. Penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Gus Schwederman, the guilty party there, as he was too high with the hand.
I think that's going to frustrate defensive coordinator Kim McLeod. They're getting a ton of penetration. You see a lot of orange helmets in the backfield. To me, that might have been Kendall Montgomery, number 88, grabbing that mask right there.
Yeah, yep.
It's just careless.
Absolutely.
Cannot have that happen. Giving yards away to Western Kentucky.
It was. They're very high on Montgomery. Although right there, he didn't make the smartest of plays. This pass off the fingertips of the intended target with 59 seconds remaining. It's Dangerfield. Could come up with that catch.
And that was a great job by Brandon Dowdy reading the corner blitz. You'll see him coming off the edge. Receiver's got to get his head around. Dowdy is operating full speed. Complete command. Receivers got to join him. Dangerfield, new to the program. He'll catch up.
Here's Downey on the run, fires. Nice throw and a great catch is made. Pulled in over there by one of those three tight ends. That's Gorski, who's the biggest of the three, but there is a flag and it's coming back. It's a hold on Jeff Brohm's team.
10-yard penalty. Second down.
Another great play action fake, and you see the hold right there. Interiorly, it looked like Brandon Ray got beat across his face. Good to see Gorski catching the football, though. Big-time blocker a year ago. I know this coaching staff wants to get him along with Higbee, and we've seen Mitchell Henry already at the tight end position, more involved in the offense. Here comes the situation. Long yardage, second and long, get back on track. These are the downs that plagued Brandon Doughty a year ago. Let's see how the quarterback handles this one.
Second and 20. Going to keep it on the ground. Some speed coming to the near side. Good job on the pursuit by Bowling Green. Gabe Martin got over there. The outstanding linebacker who was slow to get up a few minutes ago, but back in, and that's why they call him their best defensive player, Kevin.
These two outside linebackers, DJ Lynch on the other side and Gabe Martin, they really missed him a year ago when he missed those last 6 games with the ACL. We did see him go down earlier. Great to see him come back on the football field.
Redshirt senior out of Grand Blanc, Michigan is Martin. Doughty on third down. They got a hand. He still got it away. The catch is made. They're going to be short. They get it to the 25-yard line. Montgomery over there on the tackle with Leon Allen.
They call a play to get guys down the field, but I love Brandon Doughty's decision-making right there to check the football down, make the smart play, and give his team a shot at 3 points. Ben, like the way the seniors playing tonight.
End of the first quarter here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The home squad, the Hilltoppers, their first-year head coach, Jeff Brohm. They're as sharp as those helmets, leading Bowling Green 14-0 after one. Well, we talked about a fresh start for Western Kentucky. First game in Conference USA. The man in the middle, his first game as their head coach. They've been outstanding thus far, and let's now take a look at the history between these two teams. It's brought to you by Bud Light. What will happen next? And it is the Battle of the Bowling Greens. The only previous meeting came back nearly 7 years ago when Bowling Green defeated Western Kentucky in Bowling Green, Ohio, 41-21. The Falcons scored the first 24 points. So far, the first 14 scored by Western Kentucky this year.
Seems like Coach Brohm's goal was to flip the script from the last meeting, obviously. But what a start. Obviously, a little bit more effective execution on both sides for Western Kentucky. We've seen some miscues. We showed that already. Both sides of the football, I think, Bowling Green just needs to settle down. They have some seniors back, but it's the first game. We've seen time and time again the first halves of season openers. Teams really take some time, some more than others, to really settle in.
So Garrett Schwetman, his numbers last year, 13 of 16, 81%. He's going to attempt this one from 41 yards out of the hole to Brandon Doughty. Good snap, good hold from 41. Garrett Schwetman cannot get it through there. So Bowling Green comes up. They dodge a bullet there as it remains a 14-0 score, 5 seconds into the second quarter of play.
You see Bowling Green, that entire sideline erupted when that field goal hit the upright. I got to tell you, it might be only 3 points, but for a sideline struggling, I've been there before. You're hoping for anything that helps turn the momentum your way. Matt Johnson, Travis Green, it's on you now. Execution, we've seen some drops. They've been able to get some guys open. Matt Johnson just needs to continue to lead this team, get the tempo going Falcon fast, and they'll get some points on the board.
Johnson there and Green, the guys Kevin talked about in the open. They are big-time weapons. Green's going to try it near side. Good spin move. He's dropped the 27-yard line. So he picks up about 3, close to 4. They're going to give him 3 on the carry. Trips to the near side, to the boundary side of the field, the short side.
Something they do often, trying to isolate the receiver to the top side of the field, one-on-one with a whole lot of grass to work with.
That is Burbrink. He's out there wide to that field side up top in the middle of your screen. They're looking his way. There he is. Makes the catch, gets away. Heath Jackson does the job there. I stand corrected. Jackson, not Burbrink up there, but Jackson with a good job. They'll move the chains.
Something Coach Nick Holt talked about, that formation into the boundary.
And they run fast. Right back out, flags come in. You hear the displeasure of the home fans here at Western Kentucky. Ronnie Moore, the intended target.
Coming off the completion, the first down, we got to expect these guys to go 1,000 miles an hour.
Pass interference, defense, number 8. Ball's placed at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
Marcus Ward, the penalty.
Ronnie Moore is one of those guys that they're going to try to get into open space in the middle of the field. Ben can be electric when he gets the ball in his hands. Expect to see tight coverage like we saw right there all night.
Led their team with 7 touchdown receptions a year ago. Good run here. Nice job as Travis Green gets close to 9 on that run. Good tough run by him there. Ward made the tackle. Bowling Green trying to get one here. Quick throw, catch is made. Getting a little bit extra there at the end was Roger Lewis.
Similar play to what we saw Western Kentucky score on. Didn't get as great of blocking from his receivers around him, but those are the types of plays, and expect to see some pump plays off of those. Everything in this Bowling Green offense is built to work off each other.
On the ground, Green close, getting down to the 35-yard line, so it's 6 on the carry. It's the best Bowling Green's looked so far this drive, Kevin?
Absolutely. The tempo, the substitutions in and out, they're seeming to catch their rhythm a little bit.
76 yards on the ground, going to the air. Johnson got a man wide open, down the seam, great catch. No, it's knocked away. They're going to say never had possession. It was Garrett Dieter, who had a couple catches 2 series ago, but could not make that one.
You knew that was coming. Starting to establish the run, take a vertical shot down the field to Dieter. Got to squeeze this one. This is the exact kind of play you need when you're down 14-0. Great effort going up to try to get it, but look who it was.
Nick Holt.
Nick Holt, raking the hands, getting that ball out.
3rd and 4 from the 35.
Classic blitz down for Western Kentucky.
They're shifting. Fans into it. They should be their home opener. Whistles go.
Game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Delay a game, obviously. You don't think Falcon fast, that's even possible, but you get to a critical down like 3rd and 5. Matt Johnson trying to get them into the right play.
So Dino Babers, first year as Bowling Green's coach. His team is 0 for 4 on 3rd down. You see Johnson's particulars tonight, not where they want him to be at all. 5 of 10 for less than 40 yards. The fake, he's looking, hit as he throws, catch is made. That is Lewis on a nice leaning catch to the 24 to move the sticks, Kev.
Give Matt Johnson a ton of credit. Standing in the face of a blitz, takes a hit right on the teeth, fires a strike for a big-time first down.
Correction, gain of 16.
Movement, the line of scrimmage.
Flag on the play.
Take a look at Johnson, Ben, standing in there, knows it's coming. That's what playing the position's all about. Big time critical 3rd and 10 like that. You stand in there tough, you know you got your man. Fire that thing into a tight window.
Offense, number 53, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Logan Dietz, the redshirt sophomore out of Pittsburgh, the guilty one there.
Just cannot get out of their own way right now.
Yep.
Coach Babers has to be frustrated. Coaching staff trying to have this team play as fast as possible. It's tough to do it when you're playing from behind the sticks every down.
5th penalty for 48 yards. Now it's a 1st and 15 from the 29. Johnson Lewis, he's been very active. Look at this young man burn his way down inside of the 20, and he gets it down to the 17.
Big time thing to watch, especially for Bowling Green fans, as these quick passing games, these screens to the receivers. You know, Babers treats these as extensions of their running game.
Drags a defender down inside of the 10-yard line. Travis Green a year ago had 9 100-yard games, the most in school history. He put up 1,749 of all-purpose yards. From the 9, goal line situation for that defense of Western Kentucky. And do they ever do the job? Rocker and company up there creating havoc. And today's Red Zone is being brought to you by Verizon. You see what Bowling Green did last season up top on the I-bar. shotgun. Johnson throws, and Coleman could not make that catch. She had to reach too far, the big tight end.
Not an extremely catchable ball, but all they're trying to do right there is give themselves a manageable third down. Ball was a little bit out in front. Johnson's got to understand that those tight ends now, they got soft hands, but they're wearing big old shoulder pads.
Replay on the right.
Makes the senior reach a little bit too much, so a big 3rd and 10 here. Chance to get on the board.
Yep, 6'1" senior. 3rd and 10. It's 3rd and goal from the 10.
You'll see them slow down on 3rd downs, try to get into the best possible play. A lot of communication going on.
Bowling Green 1 of 5 on 3rd down. Here they go. Johnson to the end zone. No, Ronnie Moore was there. He was the guy they went to. He could not make the break he needed to on the ball.
Seemed to be a little bit of miscommunication. We talked about communication before the snap, but there's always communication after the snap, mostly nonverbal, and I think there was some contact there. Western Kentucky's going to play very aggressive in the secondary. They might have got away with one right there.
So Dino Babers in the first quarter, he had a 4th down. He went for it. He did not do this as Tate's on for a 27-yard field goal attempt. Good snap, and then hits the upright. It pings the upright and does not go through, and they blow it dead. So Bowling Green has had 2 opportunities in the red zone, and they have not gotten any points from either one. So it's time for Bowling Green to try and regroup as Western Kentucky still leads them by 2 touchdowns. Ohio State's Urban Meyer leads the Buckeyes against Keenan Reynolds and the midshipmen of Navy. And the only place to see 5th-ranked Ohio State kick off their season is right here on CBS Sports Network tomorrow at noon Eastern. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Allie LaForce, and the preview, Kevin O'Connell, of that matchup.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Vern and Gary do this game. Obviously, Keenan Reynolds, to me, big storyline for Navy, but I think everybody's talking about these Ohio State quarterbacks. How bad do you feel for Braxton Miller? Still going to be a captain and show up and try to be a leader each and every Saturday for his team, but having had that same surgery myself, it's tough as a quarterback to come back from that.
So a big one tomorrow right here on CBS Sports Network. That is Kevin O'Connell. My name is Ben Holden. Courtney Fallon's with us as well. All of our hard-working crew. We're thrilled to be with you here on a Friday night in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And mentioned it last time, the Hilltoppers in red, Kevin, scored. They're as polished as those chrome helmets they wear as Dowdy zings another dart. Dangerfield makes the catch. And speaking of those chrome helmets, let's go down to Courtney with more on them.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. I have a chrome helmet right here. You know, Bobby Petrino's era at Western Kentucky is over, but his fingerprints are still all over this Hilltopper team, including the brand new uniform color scheme that he introduced last year, new posters in the locker room, new shiny chrome helmets. They were the only football team at the time to unveil these chrome helmets, but a number of teams have picked it up this year, and it's actually, ironically, has slowed down the production process for Western Kentucky. They told me that it's a little harder to get these beautiful shiny helmets over there down here to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Back to you guys.
You need to get some turtle wax and polish that. Your fingerprints are on it now, Courtney. Thank you. So a penalty on Bowling Green on their defense. Moves it forward to a 1st and 5. They get it out to the 38-yard line, keeping it on the ground. There is Brandon Dowdy. Your thoughts on him to this point, Kevin?
I think he's been great. I think he's executed situational football well. We knew he was accurate, but he's also distributing the football. Seems like a guy, a senior, in complete control of this offense.
13 of 16 for 178, throwing a 17th pass of the night. And miscommunication there as both receivers downfield on the near side were looking around. So just a miscommunication there, I suppose?
I think they're trying to flood that side of the field. Maybe a little miscommunication, but Bowling Green was also able to get some pressure on Brandon Dowdy, maybe make him get rid of it a little quicker than he wanted to.
So the updated numbers on him, 14 out of 18, they say. Here goes number 19, zings one over the middle, clock. Dangerfield sheds a tackle, still on his feet, gets down to the 46-yard line. Brian Sutton made the tackle.
Dangerfield out at X receiver. One-on-one coverage on 3rd and 5. You're going to go to your go-to guy. It's interesting to see Dangerfield lining up over there, making up for a couple of those early drops.
Here goes Allen. Bangs his way to the 40-yard line. Dangerfield, a JUCO transfer. They use the word chip, being a chip on his shoulder because of being a JUCO guy. Kevin, now he gets a chance to play in a Conference USA program.
I think he's a little upset about not getting an offer to play Division I out of high school. 6'3", 200 pounds. This guy looks every bit the part of a major college football receiver, and he's showing up. Other than that deep drop, he's been a go-to guy for them early on in this game.
It's such a different dynamic for their receiving core because Willie McNeil's not a big guy. He's a speed guy and a reliable guy as they keep it on the ground here again. But he's a big physical target at 6'3" and about 2 bills.
There's no question, and tough to tackle. I think you're going to continue to see him catch short passes, running slant routes, crossing routes over the middle. Obviously, we heard this week, Coach has said it, he's not afraid to go over the middle, which is a huge characteristic to have for a receiver like this. But how about another 3rd and 1, 3rd and manageable for Western Kentucky?
And Brandon Dowdy does it himself, picks up a couple across the 35. He goes, and they move the chains once again, Kev.
Seems like we've been saying it a lot. 3rd and manageables when they can stay 3rd, and that was a 3rd and 1 right there, but 3rd and 4 to 6. A lot of success coming Western Kentucky's way.
We have 6 on 3rd down. Catch made, breaking free, getting away is Grant. Grant takes it in for the Hilltopper touchdown. Like Dangerfield, he's a newcomer. He's a junior college guy, and he makes a big play on a big stage here at home.
Brandon Dowdy's got to be loving his receiver core right now. Another accurate throw. Get it out there quick. Makes one miss, makes a second miss, breaks a 3rd tackle, and he's off to the races. These JUCO transfers, they look like they have a chip on their shoulder tonight.
So Antwain Grant Jr. out of Wilmington, Delaware. There are 2 flags on the play. There was some rough stuff afterwards. So our referee in the white hat, Brad Rogers, talking things over. We'll get the ruling from him.
A foul. Defense number 1 to the head. Number 1 is disqualified.
So the penalty is on Daryl Hunter. And let's look back, Kevin, at the videotape evidence.
Hey, did you not see that?
Absolutely.
Did you not see 82?
No question after the play, and Ben, to me, that's just frustration to the situation in this game.
How do you not see that?
Hunter's a junior, coming back from injury a year ago, but he's got 16 career starts. You cannot do that. Setting the tone for all kinds of negative plays is one thing, but to have that type of mistake by one of your junior leaders, cannot have it. Dino Babers has to address that. He will not be coming back into the game tonight.
Yeah, and he missed all of last season. He injured his wrist in training camp. And the referee, as you see Hunter, Brad Rogers, is on the field with the headset on as Dino Babers looks on. Any thought as to what they're looking at? Well, we're being told that it's the hit to the head.
Review after the play. Disqualification of number 1 stands.
There you go.
I was just going to say, it's a dead ball foul.
Yeah.
It's not targeting. It's not something they can go back and see what happened. This is a decision right there. You see the official all over it.
Yeah.
Clear as day. You cannot do that, folks. That's how a big point of emphasis in 2014 is player conduct on the field. Sportsmanship. They're all over plays just like that happen after the whistle. Cannot happen, and they're trying to get rid of it in college football.
That was Tyler Higbee that was involved. But it was Hunter that made an undisciplined play as the point after by Schwetman is tacked on, and Hunter makes his way to the room. His team down 21-0.
Antwain Grant. Once again, get the ball out of your hand, Brandon Dowdy. Let your receivers go to work for you. Impressive start for Western Kentucky in this offense.
Brett Stover in New York, 8th-ranked Michigan State against Jacksonville State's Connor Cook, 10 of 11, 266, 3 touchdowns, 35 zip. Back out to Ben and Kevin.
Thank you, Brent. Michigan State, Mark D'Antonio finished last season with a 13-1 record. Ranked in the top 5 after that great win they had over Stanford in the Rose Bowl. And the Spartans are going to be tough again this year. How about Western Kentucky? And just a beautiful Western Kentucky night. You saw the moon. It's been their night so far.
A little bit of a warm day here. We questioned how we would hold up, the players would hold up.
We're fine.
Down there on the field, Courtney down there on the field.
Yep.
But this has been about Western Kentucky being red hot. And from really the start of this game, they've had 3 drives now where they pushed the ball 80 yards at least. And they're doing it in about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes each time. You obviously see Grant there with the catch and run off a very simple play. Just turn and catch the ball and go make a play for us. It's been the theme of the night. And Brandon Dowdy, big thing, not trying to do too much. I'll tell you what, if I had this receiving core, I wouldn't be trying to do too much either. I'd be getting to these guys and letting them make plays like they've done for them this whole first half. But what a start for Western Kentucky.
Don't make mistakes, critical mistakes, right?
Game-changing mistakes.
Yeah.
Putting your defense that played so well a year ago, they had to make a lot of stops on short fields because of silly turnovers that they didn't have to have, especially with a guy like Andrews. The offense is more about Dowdy this year, and he looks like he's ready to take the reins of it and distribute that football.
So after the penalty and the ejection of Hunter, the kickoff was from midfield. And there is another flag on the near side of the field around the 47. We'll get back to that, but we want to let you know the Doug Gottlieb Show is fast-paced, always opinionated, and now it's on CBS Sports Network. Get to know Gottlieb face-to-face with the Doug Gottlieb Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the 24-hour home of CBS
Offside.
Sports.
Kicking team. Ball's placed at the 30-yard line. First down.
So the kicking team offsides, you heard there from referee Brad Rogers, and numbers up top on the I-bar. Western Kentucky with already, Kevin, 275 yards of offense. Jeff Brom, their coordinator on offense last year, they set numerous records, and if tonight's any indication, they're going to do a lot of that this year. Good job coming up to make the stick from the back end there, and it was in a hurry. Cam Thomas, there's that quickness, those smarts, Kevin.
Some scouts in the building tonight. They're watching number 19. A lot of people think that this guy's skill set really translates to the next level. He's physical, he's big. Love to see his ball skills when that football's in the air. Keep your eye on 19.
Fifth-year senior, pass deflected, incomplete. Third down coming up for Bowling Green.
This Western Kentucky defense, a lot of guys out there that did not play a ton a year ago. They're replacing so much production, but what happens is you get a lead like this, you're flying around, you're making plays, you get a lot of confidence, and the game seems a little bit easier for you.
Numbers on Cam Thomas, 41 tackles, 5 interceptions.
Timeout.
10 passes. Western Kentucky with 8:09 to go in the first half. They take a timeout.
Western Kentucky, their first.
Nick Holt, the defensive coordinator, fired up, coaching with passion and enthusiasm. His team up by 3 touchdowns. Season opener for both these teams. It's college football presented by Geico. Western Kentucky leads Bowling Green 21-0 with 8:09 to go in the half, and we unveil it for the first time this season. It's the OC watch list. Kevin O'Connell with his guys to watch.
Let's start out with 3 quarterbacks. First, you have to start with Jameis Winston, 2013 Heisman winner, national champion. A lot of people think he's going to make a return visit to New York, but how about the Pac-12 and these 2 quarterbacks, Marcus Mariota and Brett Hundley? These guys are going to put up video game-like numbers. The 2 running backs, got to give them some love. Melvin Gordon and Todd Gurley, the Big Ten obviously getting represented. These guys put up huge numbers. Big thing with them, staying healthy. Can't forget about Bryce Petty either at Baylor.
They'll put up some monster numbers. What did you say last year? 33 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Nice catch made. Good job on the run by Matt Johnson to find Dieter. That's what you call doing an ad-lib on the football field. That was impressive.
And that looked like 2013 Bowling Green offense. Matt Johnson scrambling out of the pocket. So many of his throws, quality throws, came out of the pocket, and the receivers coming back and helping their quarterback out.
It's a very big possession for Bowling Green. Up the gut. Getting free is Coppett down near the 25-yard line to the 26. They spot him down. A big burst from Fred Coppett.
Johnson handing this thing off to Coppett. We've seen him break out a couple times tonight, getting an open field.
Back out live. Pass is made, the catch is made, and getting down deep near the goal line is Heath Jackson. So this Falcon offense, they call it Falcon fast. They're looking like it now, Kev.
3 plays and they're inside the 10. Don't get comfortable, Western Kentucky, because this team can score in a lightning quick time.
They can. Their goal is somewhere between 90 and 100 plays a game. What they want to do. Johnson led his team to the MAC championship last year. They had not won Bowling Green the MAC title in over 20 years. They beat an undefeated Northern Illinois team. Trying to get on the board for the first time in 2014. On the run, Johnson against the grain, fires, and a catch is made. They're going to give him the possession. It's Jackson with another big catch, indeed, to the 1.
Obviously, Matt Johnson, 2 big plays now. Getting out of the pocket, that athleticism down to the 1-yard line. Punch it in if you're Bowling Green and you're back in this football game.
Yep, 7:03 and counting left in this first half. Johnson going to keep, now he's going to toss, little pitch to Coppett. He struts his way to the corner, and Bowling Green's on the board for the first time in 2014, 21-6.
Got to make Coach Babers happy to get his team on the board. But this is what having an athletic quarterback will do. You get down close, you don't have to run this thing right into the middle of the line. A little speed option football. Probably going to see a little bit of that next week at Army, but we catch a preview of it tonight here for the first Bowling Green touchdown.
Tyler Tate, field goal he attempted on the last Bowling Green possession off the right upright. Attack on the point after, make it a 14-point differential. He does. Squeezes it through there, and there's Coppett, sophomore out of Fort Lauderdale, has Bowling Green on the board. College football on CBS Sports Network is presented by Geico. A little more than halfway through the second quarter, and a big score there, 21-7 for Dino Babers and Bowling Green, as they're on the board. A 7-play, 70-yard drive. It took 1 minute and 42 for the Bowling Green offense, that Falcon fast offense, and it was capped off by the 1-yard run to the left corner by Fred Coppett. And they get into the end zone to get on the board, and Coppett, he's had a big impact, averaging 10 plus a carry, or right around 10 a carry for the average, 6 for 65 in the score there, partner.
He's been a good changeup to Travis Green, running very hard in the interior of the defense. We saw him break through for the big run. I'm sure Coach Babers loves seeing multiple backs with that home run hitting capability.
The deep guys back for Western Kentucky. Brady won there, Kylan Towner. Still a 14-point lead for Western Kentucky. Willie McNeil back there as well. Willie, a dangerous return guy. It'll be a first down from the 25 for Western Kentucky. Before we see Brandon Dowdy, the offense back on the field, make sure you join us tomorrow. Saturday football lineup is a good one. Number 5, Ohio State, taking on Navy in Baltimore to kick things off at noon. Northern Arizona against those Aztecs is San Diego State, presented by Geico at 7 Eastern, and then number 25, Washington, out in Hawaii at 10:30. It'll cap it off tomorrow on CBS Sports Network.
San Diego State opening with Northern Arizona. Got a chance to watch that team a lot in training camp. They're going to be a good one out there in the Mountain West.
There's Brandon Dowdy, sings one, the catch is made. Ryan Sutton got over there.
Complete to number 6.
Joel German made the catch. The first time we've called his name
and that's
tonight.
A Hilltopper.
Love the play call on first down. You've been able to run the ball, some quick passes, push that thing vertical in between the corner and the safety. Been really impressed with Dowdy.
Right into the Bowling Green defensive line. Jumping there. Were they induced though?
Offside. Defense, number 43 in the neutral zone, caused the offensive player to lose. 5-yard penalty, first down.
The hard count by Brandon Dowdy. That's something they're calling. He's not huddling, but he's doing a great job communicating. Picked up a free 5 yards right there.
Ryan Thomas, the one that jumped from the 46 now. Quick hit. Step near the first down marker.
Complete to Taywan Taylor.
I.J. Barima made the tackle on Taylor. So Dowdy now has completed 22 passes, 18 of 22 in the game. They're not in a huge hurry here with a little more than 6 to go in the half. Same play, getting free, and Martin trying to track down the receiver. Flag comes in as Taylor makes another catch, and Gabe Martin was the one in there. There's a flag down. We'll check that first.
Time and time again, you're just seeing Brandon Dowdy rise up and throw it to the open guy.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 11 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
That's not horse collaring.
No, I was going to say it's not. He just grabbed his jersey.
And that's a very, very tough call when you've been having receivers get a bunch of yards after the catch. Gabe Martin trying to just make a tackle right there. Clearly not a horse collar. That's a very tough call. Coach Babers can't be happy with that.
Well, we touched on, we came back from the break, how big the score was. You see the penalties up top. Bowling Green's got 9. This right now, Kevin, is a big, your Bowling Green's defense, Dino Babers, huge possession for them.
Critical time in this football game. 5:47 to go in the second quarter. You've got to try to find a way to bowl up. Get a stop, get the ball back to your offense, and get back to a one-score game. With Western Kentucky knocking on the door, they haven't been stopped very much tonight.
Dowdy with 286 yards through the air. Keep it on the ground. Leon Allen is greeted by basically the front 4 of Bowling Green on the tackle. They get in there. Martin got some help too.
Bowling Green defense a year ago was the best defense in the MAC. They were top 10 in the country in total defense. These guys can play very, very well. I think they've just gotten off to a slow start, kind of been overwhelmed by this Western Kentucky tempo.
Yeah, they were 3rd in the country in their red zone defense with a percentage of 64.7 for their opposition. As Henry made the catch, Walker made the tackle.
And he made a good one, going up to get that ball. Brandon Dowdy a little high on that throw, but when you get those big tight end targets, they've got 6'4", 6'5", 6'7" at the tight end position. See that a lot in the NFL, some big time playmakers.
Western Kentucky 4 of 6 on 3rd down. They're at the 9.
Blitz look here.
Good job of protection. The catch made, breaking a tackle, trying to work his way to the end zone, getting in there. What an effort by Willie McNeil for the touchdown for the Hilltoppers.
Tremendous job recognizing the all-out pressure. It's a staple of Bowling Green defense. It was at Eastern Illinois for Kim McLeod. Brandon Doherty checking into a play, finding his senior captain, who once again, look what happens, breaks one tackle like we've seen all night, finds his way into the end zone. These receivers for Western Kentucky, combined with Brandon Dowdy being in complete control, they're almost impossible to stop right now.
So the redshirt senior McNeil out of Bradenton, Florida, into the end zone. Schweppman's PAT, Kevin, makes it 28-7 with 4:41 to go.
The benefit of having a senior quarterback, recognizing the all-out blitz, unbelievable job checking into this play, finding his senior receiver, Willie McNeil, and like we've seen all night long, breaking that tackle, getting some blocks from his help out there at wide receiver. And these Western Kentucky receivers, they just want to get in the end zone. They refuse to go down right now, and they're just winning the individual battles on the outside. But Brandon Dowdy, give him a lot of credit, recognizing the situation, getting them into the right play. Tremendous execution from the senior.
So the scoring drive, 6 and 75. This one took 2:13. McNeil, the 3rd different receiver to catch a touchdown. And I was going to say he's approaching 300. He can't get any. The only way he can get closer is to get another yard. 299 in the first half.
Unbelievable performance for a guy that we heard from his coaches, including the head coach, that they didn't want him to do too much. And that just goes to show you, when you take what the defense is giving you and you've got the playmakers he does at the receiver position, you can make the quarterback position look very, very easy sometimes. Because, folks, I can tell you what Brandon Dowdy's doing is not easy to do. He might be making it look easy, but compliments to the senior getting his senior year started with a bang.
Well, Tyson Helton, their offensive coordinator, he said the biggest thing is not press. Manage the offense, not press. Talking about Dowdy. And he has looked, big hit delivered as Moore got popped and dropped, and he really got hit on that kick coverage there. As coming in was Iyebuwine to make the tackle there. He made the big hit.
A lot of red shirts not getting blocked right there. I don't know if there was miscommunication.
So a nice job making his mark known on the kick coverage team there.
As we see Bowling Green come onto the field, a lot of spread up-tempo offenses. They'll go to this 5-wide look, try to simplify the look for their quarterback.
All right, so now for the Falcons, you have to answer. Wide open across the 40-yard line. Making the catches, Ryan Burbrink, who was a valuable guy last year. Big catch for him there.
And the key to this whole Falcon Fast scheme, production on first down and getting into the second play.
There they go. It's out of there fast. Pressure coming. Pocket collapses. Johnson on the run. He's got to be careful. Line of scrimmage. Throws. Good throw and a good catch made by Moore. Down inside of the 30.
The best throw of the night so far by Matt Johnson, I thought, right there. And it was out of the pocket. Scrambling, making a play. What he did best a year ago. They still need it from him this year, as well as the improvement from the pocket.
He's 13 of 21, make that 14 of 22 as he finds Lewis. Good job. Lewis has looked good. He's got a handful of catches. He's shown me a little something. I don't know about you.
True freshman to come out here tonight and be making plays and trying to get down the field yards after the catch. Big things ahead for the freshman from Pinkerton.
Yep, he rolled there in January. Here's a ball thrown for Moore. Can't get there. He could not get to it. Cam Thomas said, "You're not getting that."
Tremendous instincts out of Thomas, even though he does get beat deep occasionally. And Coach even told us yesterday, Coach Holt said, if anything is his weakness, it's the fact that he does get run by sometimes. So something to keep an eye on. I do think he's among the nation's elite, but like a lot of college football players, there is a weakness in his game.
Bowling Green trying to convert this 3rd and 4 with less than 4 to go in the half. Hilltopper shifting a little bit on defense. Johnson a fake. Can he get away? No! He's grabbed by the ankle and then finished. And he's slow to get up. Did he ever pay the price there? Nick Holt's defense bringing it. One of their ends, T.J. Smith in there finishing the play.
Tremendous amount of pressure despite only bringing a 3-man rush. Clearly miscommunication. You see right tackle Logan Dietz, he's a redshirt sophomore, but you cannot just turn the defensive end scot-free like he did right there. And woo, when you are held up like that, those are when some of the biggest hits come. You give T.J. Smith a free run at you, bad things are going to happen.
Excuse me, Kev. Brian Shorter made the initial play. They're on to try the field goal from Tate, and Tate comes on and bangs it through. So from long distance, Tate gets the field goal. That's big again for Dino Babers' offense. They get points, the field goal, but points.
Love the fact that he goes back to his kicker. Yep. Trusts him. He could have played field position right there, but obviously he was 6 of 8 from plus 40 a year ago, and the Lou Groza Award nominee picks up right where he left off after hitting the crossbar earlier.
52 yards on that one. Western Kentucky, if you're just joining us, you weren't with us at the outset. We mentioned the guy there in the solid red shirt, Jeff Brom, part of their new start, fresh start. First year as their head coach. This, the other part of it, Kevin, they're now part of the 13-member Conference USA tonight in football.
A lot of changes to Conference USA, just like all around football. There's a lot of changes, but I got to tell you, Old Dominion, Southern Miss, the rest of the conference is taking a look at this score, and they're going to watch this film, and they're going to have a lot to deal with from the newcomers from the Sun Belt.
Yep, Western Kentucky prior to this had only played in 2 conferences in their program history, and it's a long one, close to 100 years. They'll take a knee in the end zone. They were in the Ohio Valley and most recently the Sun Belt. But they are thrilled. We had a chance to visit with their athletic director earlier in the week. Talked about the process, and now the moment has come for their proud program. So with 2:50 to go, Bowling Green scoring drive. That's Falcon fast. That's how they want to do it. Less than 2 minutes, 6 and 38, and Tate with a 52-yard field goal.
Getting points. Every drive you want to end with points, especially when you're trailing like they were 21 points. Situation in the game right here, very interesting. Western Kentucky is going to get this football coming out at halftime. So if they are able to drive and score points right here, they could have the opportunity to double up right out of halftime as well. So Bowling Green defense, your time is now.
1st and 10. Dowdy continues to add to that yardage. He's over 300 yards. Leon Allen out there. And DJ Lynch, the product of Pontiac, Michigan, out there to make the stop.
Once again, just another great drive starting play. Get 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. Seen it all night long. Production on first down has been key for Western Kentucky.
They're in no hurry. Taking some time off that play clock. They get rid of it. Snap it at 15. Dave Martin in there trying to get down Leon Allen. He did. So Dowdy now looks to the sidelines.
And Coach Babers is going to call
Bowling
a timeout right now.
They're first.
Which I love.
It's 30 seconds.
Each team with 2 left. Brandon Dowdy, we talked about him all the way back at the outset of the broadcast, Kevin. He has been sterling tonight.
Consistency is the key, and he's been consistently great so far in this game. But his receivers, short passes, screens, hitches, uncovereds off the line of scrimmage like we see right here. And these receivers are making big plays for their quarterback, but he's making great decision after great decision. And here was the last one, which I love, checking against the blitz, finding the senior Willie McNeil, getting everybody involved in this first half, Ben.
Dowdy 22 of 26 for 304. And we've still got 2:09 left in the first half. There's his numbers up top on the I-bar. Another one right on the money. Catch made. Close to the 45-yard line, and that's one of the young men that's had a touchdown. Nick Johnson in on the tackle as he took down Grant. Dowdy again fires. They just keep chewing up the real estate. That is Mitchell Henry, the young man from nearby Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Sutton made the tackle.
Lining up the big tight end outside, running 4 verticals, everybody going down the field. Mitchell Henry lining up against the corner outside. It's a big old target for Dowdy to throw to.
5 on the left, Norris with a catch. Lynch is there. He was in on the tackle and got some help from Kendall Montgomery as well. Minute 22 to go. Clock continues to run. I want to remind you, when we're done here with the first half, we'll send you the guys in New York. It's the Verizon halftime report. Brent Bryan, Houston, and Adams scores from around the nation. First half stats and highlights coming up as well on the Verizon halftime report. Certainly plenty of highlights in this game. Taylor was the guy that made the play on the far side.
And once again, it's just a hitch route. He's running 5 yards, turning around and looking at Brandon Dowdy, and there's a corner nowhere in sight. By the time he gets there, they're missing the tackle, which is allowing an extra 5 to 10 yards at the least each time these guys catch the ball. This is not difficult offense to defend. You just got to want to challenge these receivers on the outside.
So there were a couple of alarms that we heard going off. Sure, you heard them watching. And they are telling folks to exit the stadium. Brad Rogers, our referee.
There is no emergency. There is no emergency.
Brad Rogers saying there's no emergency. He spoke, we saw someone come on the field from Western Kentucky saying there's no emergency. You see some of the folks here have left. So we're going to play on here on a 1st and goal. Dowdy out of the gun to the end zone, to the corner, and nearly put another one Across the goal line did Brandon Doughty. Some fans still leaving, as Nicholas Norris was the intended target.
Once again, one-on-one coverage, and Doughty drops it right in there. Can't throw it much better. Should have been a touchdown.
Doughty's had that one dropped for 9. The one to Dangerfield would have been about a 65-yard touchdown. He'd be around 4 bills and a half. He's popped and dropped here at the 9. Falcons saying they've got the ball. They come out of there with it. Gabe Martin's clearly got it there. The tape doesn't lie, as he had it.
Quarterback was ruled down.
But the referee Rogers, you heard him say he was down.
Looks like it's the ground there, Benny.
Good call.
As Brandon Doughty's trying to scramble forward there. Bowling Green's trying to do everything they can to cause a turnover.
Hilltopper 6 of 8 on 3rd down. Doughty, tough play, dumped it off. Good job coming over in the open field to make that tackle for Bowling Green. It was Will Watson, the corner.
Play that we've seen time and time again this half. They finally figured it out. Got to be aggressive and come up and make that tackle. Western Kentucky going to let the clock run all the way down.
They are. 2 timeouts to use. Jeff Brom takes it with now 3 seconds left, Kevin.
Timeout. Western Kentucky. Their second.
So Schwetman will come on, and want to remind you once again, Verizon halftime report. The guys in New York, Brent Stover, BJ Brian Jones, Houston Nutt, Adam Archuleta scores from around the nation. First half stats and highlights as well from here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and what right now is a 28-10 Hilltopper lead. Quite the debut half for that guy right there, walking his way down the sidelines.
I'd say he's called a pretty good game so far. And oh, by the way, have to handle all the clock management that goes along with being the head coach. Called that timeout right at 3 seconds. Textbook first half from Jeff Brom.
Spent some time at Louisville as an assistant, bounced around like so many coaches do. Was at Illinois, Dino Babers. First had Jimmy Garoppolo, who lit it up last year at Eastern Illinois, I should say, and now with the Patriots. He's well traveled as well. 29-yard attempt coming from the right hash for Garrett Schwetman. So Babers, the Falcon head coach. Timeout taken. He's going to talk to his defense.
Coach Babers experiencing life without Jimmy Garoppolo there at Eastern Illinois. Second-round pick of the New England Patriots. He had the luxury of having a pretty darn good quarterback the last couple years, winning 2 Ohio Valley championships.
First year coaching a Bowling Green team that won 10 games last year. Represented the East Division of the MAC. Beat then an undefeated Northern Illinois team with Jordan Lynch in the MAC title game. Johnson close to 4 bills in that game, 5 touchdowns. So far, the Falcon offense has been held in check and then some. 29-yard attempt from Schwetman. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is up, and it is good. So that's the end of the half. 31-10 Western Kentucky, Kevin, leading Bowling Green by 21 points at halftime.
I'd say Jeff Brown pretty excited about taking over now, and his football team seems to be just as excited. They come out from that opening speech we saw in that locker room. His team grabbed the momentum in this football game, and they have not let up.
They have not. Courtney's down on the field with Jeff Brom.
Yeah, Coach Brom, what an impressive half for your offense. Over 300 yards so far. It starts with the quarterback, Brandon Doughty. What did you like from him?
Well, I think he obviously played well. He was efficient. He took what they gave him. He got the ball out in the perimeter. He got completions, and that's the most important thing. You're
up 21 points on a team that won the MAC conference last year. How do you guys make sure you don't stay comfortable?
Well, this is a good football team. They like to go fast, and they definitely increased the tempo there in the second quarter, so we've got to find ways to stop them. We can't turn the ball over on offense. We've got to keep our foot on the pedal and just keep going as hard as we can.
Thank you very much, Coach. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Courtney. Thanks to Jeff Brom as well. His team with that historic towel they wave here at Western Kentucky on display, looking great. First half complete, 31-10. They lead Bowling Green. Verizon halftime report with Brent Stover and the guys after the break here on CBS Sports Network. You're watching college football presented by Geico.
The man who's going to break down the benefits of a 1-3-1 zone and blow your mind with his unrelenting knowledge of ridiculous sports minutiae.
You damn right.
The Doug Gottlieb Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS Sports Network. LG. Visit LG.com/NCAA to learn how LG can help you do game day right. By Icy Hot Smart Relief TENS Therapy. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Beautiful August evening here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers, in their first game as a member of Conference USA, leading Bowling Green by 21 points, 31-10. It has been the Brandon Doughty Show. The quarterback next to me, the former San Diego State star, Kevin O'Connell, loves that. My name is Ben Holt. It's a pleasure and an honor to be with you. And Kevin, this game has been dominated thoroughly by Western Kentucky and their quarterback.
Unbelievable tempo coming out, but the production from Brandon Doughty, we mentioned consistency in the opener, and he's been consistently great to me, and it's been his production getting the ball to his playmakers. Let's take a look at what's going on, though. He's just taking advantage of what Bowling Green's given him. Ton of cushion out there. That is too much. They got to get up in the face of these Western Kentucky receivers and stop giving them these easy completions. Pitch and catch, folks, and these receivers are good enough to take it the distance. So it's been impressive to see him distribute the football, but maybe even more so, their ability to finish after catching the football.
And you look at some of the guys that have done it. Grant's done it. Taylor's done it. McNeil's done it. You see the possessions. The key thing there, though, the length of those touchdown drives, those scoring drives, has been so critical and so impressive for them.
4 drives over 70 yards, and look at the time. They're doing it in 3:20, 2:12, 2:32, and 2:13. This up-tempo offense we expected to see from Bowling Green, newsflash, folks, you're seeing it right here at Western Kentucky. These guys are going 1,000 miles an hour, and it's that guy right there, Brandon Doughty, who's carrying the torch for him. And we talked about it. He looks in complete control, but it's one thing to know where to go with the football, but to deliver it accurately. Look at that completion percentage, 27 of 32 for 359. I would have taken that over 2 games when I was playing. He's done it in a half. Looking forward to a big year from Brandon Doughty.
Excuse me, pun intended, but there's been no doubt tonight from Brandon Doughty. He has been awesome tonight in this game as we're set to go in the third quarter. It's great to be with you alongside Kevin O'Connell in the booth. Courtney Fallon, third member of our broadcast team down on the field. All of our great crew, they work hard. It's been hot here the last couple days, so a tip of the cap to those folks in the 100-degree temps the last couple days. But we're thrilled to be with you. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast to this point. Hilltopper's going to get it out to the 30-yard line. And speaking of Courtney, let's go down to her. She had a chance to visit with the Falcons head coach.
Absolutely, Ben. I just spoke to Dino Babers. He was in good spirits coming out of the locker room saying, you know what, we have to get back into this game touchdown by touchdown, drive by drive, slowly and surely, because right now the Western Kentucky side aren't feeling us right now. They need to feel us. He says they're missing tackles, they're dropping the ball in passes, and they have to get back into this game by getting tackles on the perimeter and just doing a better job of communicating. Back to you.
Thank you, Courtney. Any follow-up, anything that you take away from that as they keep it on the ground here to Allen for the first play of the third quarter?
Well, I have all the faith in the world that Coach Babers is going to get some things figured out on offense, but they got 31 points hung up on them in the first half off of offense that was pitch and catch and a lot of broken tackles. Defensively, the key to this whole second half is this drive right here. Can they get Western Kentucky off the field?
Pick up a 3 on that first down run. Allen tries to knife his way through there again. He may have got back to the line of scrimmage, and you look at what Leon Allen did in the first half. 13 carries for 23 yards, and certainly some big shoes to fill at the running back spot for him.
Leon Allen's been big for them, obviously, but you see the 8th defender. There's a safety down there, and Brian Sutton making that play. Quick adjustment. Maybe they're going to load this box up, tighten up the coverage, and try to pick the tempo up against an offense taking it to him.
Third down, they need 7 over the middle. They've got 7 and then some. Out to the 45-yard line. It's Mitchell Henry. You talked to me at the start of the week about how much you liked him what stood out about him?
Well, I just think they're these big body target wide receivers. And the matchups inside against linebackers, you saw it right there. James Sanford just cannot stay within a step of Mitchell Henry, and Brandon Dowdy's going to distribute that thing every single time. I do love these tight ends here in Western Kentucky.
3 different ones. They're all very good as Allen takes it. There's Leon. We touched on it the last play is getting over to make the stop was Nick Johnson. You look at what he's got to do and come in. Are you going to expect what Antonio Andrews did? Because before Andrews, they had a pretty good guy in Rainey that did the same thing.
It's crazy this question gets asked basically every 2 years, and it seems like Leon Allen can be that guy. But the offense, to me, under Jeff Brom has changed a little bit from what we saw a year ago with Coach Petrino.
This hasn't changed as Dowdy continues to be sharp as he finds Jared Dangerfield. Another catch for him in his first game as a Hilltopper. Caught 4 for 47 in the first half. Another quick play. Catch is made out there. Wrestled down is Dangerfield once again.
Once again, you just said it, Dangerfield, but it's Brandon Dowdy's ability to see things coming. That's a corner blitz. In the previous play, the quick screen, what we saw all first half, just execution offensively just a little bit better than anything Bowling Green's been able to do on defense.
Dangerfield, redshirt junior out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Dowdy looks left now, comes to the near side. Catch is made. Taylor's got it. Gabe Martin, the linebacker, finished the play. Once again, Western Kentucky marching down the field. Allen's got it. Burrows his way in there. Lynch was in there to help on the stop. Gets down to the 11-yard line.
One of the things Western Kentucky's trying to do is get bodies all over the field. Simple concept with 4 5-yard routes all over the field and let Brandon Dowdy distribute the football like we said, but still do not see that tightened up coverage. We actually see it here. See where he goes with the ball.
Puts it in the breadbasket of Leon Allen. He gets close to the first down. Now they spot him. He's not close to it now, Kevin. That was about third effort. He gets it to the 5.
Their ability to move the football through the air has kept Leon Allen pretty fresh, and that's bad news for this Bowling Green defense because at 235 pounds with him coming straight downhill at you, that's not an easy tackle.
At 357 yards with 72 carries, backing up Antonio Andrews last season to the end zone. Great throw and a great catch. Oh, that's a beautiful play. Dangerfield, Jared Dangerfield saying, respect me now. Beautiful job by him.
Brandon Dowdy, what happens when you come up and press a 6'3" receiver because you don't want to give up a short pass? They just throw the fade to the corner of the end zone. Quarterback to receiver on the same page, and at 6'3", 200 pounds, Jared Dangerfield is going to be a heck of a problem in the red zone here in Conference USA football.
Is he ever? Schwetman on to try and make it a 28-point game. 38-10. Garrett Schwetman doing his job. Dowdy 30.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
38-10. Western Kentucky got the football to begin the second half, and they promptly marched down for another scoring drive. Allen involved, Dowdy and Dangerfield as well, Kevin.
We talked about them needing to tighten up the coverage. The only problem is when you tighten up that coverage on a 6'3" receiver in the red zone, his teams are going to throw the fade route one-on-one. Brandon Dowdy's been red hot all night long, finishing that drive with a touchdown.
So Dowdy's numbers up to date, Kevin. Well, first we're going to see Dangerfield. His resume tonight's been good.
Started out with a lot of short, quick passes, catch and runs. He did have the long drop, but other than that, the newcomer's been one of the best players offensively on the field along with Dowdy, and he's been looking to him. It's pretty rare to see a JUCO wide receiver show up on campus and be the go-to guy, but he sure seems like Brandon Dowdy's comfort zone right now is with number 21.
Well, remember yesterday when the three of us and our crew, our producer, our director, all of us were in there, and they said they thought Dangerfield had a chip on his shoulder. I'm going to tell you, I think he's got a chunk on his shoulder.
And the big question was, what would he do when the lights came on? They said anybody can dominate during training camp, 2-a-days. That's all fine and dandy, but to come out here, home opener, packed house, and dominate the game like he has, expecting to see a lot of big things from him this year.
And you know, playing the position at the level and as good as you were, when you have a receiver, as we saw, you mentioned the drop, it says a lot about Doughty. It says a lot about the confidence of the staff to go back to him after he had that huge drop in the first half.
No question.
Right?
And I think it comes down to Doughty continuing to go to the open man. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to force the ball anywhere when the play's there to be made. He's done it all night long. Obviously, a lot of time put in by these guys in the offseason. All the receivers and Doughty looks like they're ready to go.
73 and a touch for Dangerfield. So now Matt Johnson, this Bowling Green offense has just 10 points. And it's their first possession here in the second half. They started the game, if you weren't with us, with 2 3-and-outs. Johnson steps up, fires, catches made. Oh, look out, that could have been messy. Oh, Cam Thomas had Green lined up. That could have been real bad, but thankfully it wasn't.
When you get to know this guy, you start to figure out, he's one of those few corners out there that exists nowadays that love to tackle.
Breaking free, Bowling Green getting a big chunk of yardage back there from Travis Green into Hilltopper territory.
And despite being down 28, Ben, they have to do what they do. They're not that kind of offense that needs to change a thing because they go so fast.
They couldn't even, I'm watching out of your pictures, they keep it up. The chain gang couldn't even get down the field. They were moving so fast. There is a flag down, and there's Travis Green, Florida product, who had a monster year ago. We'll get the call from our referee, Brad Rogers.
Substitution infraction, defense. 12 players on the field at the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's first down and 5.
And that is the big complaint from defensive coaches. You said it. The refs weren't ready. Nobody else was ready. But somehow it's a penalty on the defense. Nick Holt is not a very happy camper right now.
No, he was. You darn right he'd be ready. He is one fiery competitor. They keep it on the ground at the 36-yard line. Love talking to him yesterday. You want to talk about passion and enthusiasm. That man's got 150% of it.
He's got to carry a lot of weight. His success he was able to have both at Washington and at USC.
Yeah. Heavy hit delivered. The linebacking core stepping up there on Green. But Green gets the first down. They'll move the chains.
And I think the big story obviously right now is obviously the offense, Doughty and these receivers, but this defense, so much production yawn, and they've been able to really only give up 10 points against one of the highest scoring offenses in NCAA football a year ago.
That was the defensive coordinator's son, Nick Holt, the 6th. Redshirt junior out of Seattle, wide open. Catch is made. Contact was initiated by Travis Green there. And Marcus Ward was one of the guys involved in the tackle.
Cam Thomas right there, a little miscommunication, giving up a huge cushion. Not going to find a guy more open than that.
Back out live, it's Green again on the ground. He's approaching 80 yards rushing in the game. So the Falcons, they're going to get Ronnie Moore back into the game. Green will come out. Coppett, who's got their only touchdown, is the tailback, 7 yards behind the center. Now he's going to shift up next to Matt Johnson. 2nd and 8. Johnson looks, fires, catches made inside the 5. So it'll be a 1st and goal. Lewis, he's been sharp tonight, and makes another grab. Lewis led him in the first half with 5 catches for 40 yards. So Bowling Green trying to get the right person. They got to take a timeout. Coppett couldn't tell whether or not he was supposed to come off or not. They're going too fast for themselves.
They really are.
Timeout. Bowling Green.
Don't know who's supposed to be on the field. The personnel going too fast for everybody right now. Got to figure out who's supposed to be on the field, get the right guys on, and run the play.
The Corvette National Museum here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. They've made them in this city since the early 80s. And there was a sinkhole at the museum, and there's some of the damage, some of the cars that went in. Hundreds of pounds, thousands of dollars into that hole. We're told they're going to build a glass bridge over that. The museum more popular now than it's ever been. There are approximately 15,000 Corvettes in town. There's so many folks with those great cars here that Bowling Green and Western Kentucky both had to stay in Nashville last night. Normally they'd stay in town. They had to go to Nashville, an hour south of here. There were no hotels.
With this performance, they might be staying in Nashville every week.
They might. You're right. It might be a new trend.
You might see it.
Might be a new trend for Jeff Brom's team. It's 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. That's Nick Holt, the Western Kentucky defensive coordinator, close to 800 yards of total offense. Brandon Doughty's thrown for over 400 for the Hilltoppers. From the 3. Keep it on the ground. They barrel their way into the end zone. The touchdown for Bowling Green as they find the goal line and get in there. It's Gibbons, one of their backs, taking it in for the score for Bowling Green, and Andre Gibbons does the job, their 2nd rushing touchdown of the night.
First time we've really seen that Bowling Green front interior. Ben Stewart, Tim McAuliffe, and Alex Huddle really get some push there.
So with 8:54 to go, try to make it 38-17. They do. The Falcons do what they like to do, Kevin. Falcon fast. 8 plays, 75 yards in 2.5 minutes.
Exactly what they needed, getting down the field in a hurry. And check out that push. Number 55, Alex Huddle, 2nd-team All-MAC a year ago. Running the power play right behind the big fella.
So a needed score for Dino Babers and Bowling Green to make it 38-17. Ton of time left in this game if they can come up with a stop. The big word is if, because they haven't, for the most part, on defense yet.
And the other thing is, obviously, turnovers could be a factor, getting these guys back in the game.
Urban Meyer, you saw him, leads Ohio State against Keenan Reynolds and Navy. Games in Baltimore tomorrow. The only place to see 5th-ranked Ohio State kick off their season right here on CBS Sports Network. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce on the call at noon Eastern. There is Urban Meyer. He was the Falcons head coach for a couple of years. His first job. A lot of people thought he was going to Michigan State at the time when John L. Smith was let go. Instead, he went to Utah. He had a quarterback named Alex Smith. Then he went to Florida, had a quarterback named Tim Tebow. And now he's on to Ohio State.
Really started that initial BCS Buster type team there with Utah. I still remember that Fiesta Bowl, some of the stuff they were running, really innovative there. He's one of the brightest offensive minds in all of college football.
A lot of great coaches have come from the Mid-American Conference. Meyer, one of them. Bo Schembechler back in the day, just to name a couple of coaches that had success. So here's the scoring drive, 8 plays, 75 and 2.5. Gibbons a short touchdown run to make it 38-17. So they like to keep those under 2 minutes, those drives. Western Kentucky has done a brilliant job. Nice tackle coming up from the back end to take down Gorski, the tight end. And coming up to make the stop there was Ajay Barima. Injured Hilltopper down. That's Henry.
I got him. We're good.
Always tough to see those hits there. Defensive backs know that the tight end's a big guy. So he's coming out and catching this football. You got to go low.
Yeah.
And folks at home, you might think that's a dirty play, but that's exactly what he's being taught to do. Just part of the game there.
So Henry, who from nearby Elizabethtown, Kentucky. His mom and his dad, his mom's parents, his grandparents have traveled close to 25,000 miles. They've never missed a game of his, home or away. They've been on the road for every one. And now a senior, so they've been they know how to road trip and tailgate. Henry looks near side over the middle, and that one hit the ground. Third down coming up.
You said it. Third down, maybe the biggest play of this second half so far for this defense. Get off the field. This game's a lot of time left. Make a play here on third down and get this football back.
%on third down. Here they go. Dowdy, man open. Looked like it might have been tipped before it got to the intended target as he was looking for Antoine Grant. Let's go down to Courtney on the field.
Thank you very much, guys. You know, on the Bowling Green sideline, quarterback Matt Johnson for much of this game, despondent, sitting by himself, very, very quiet. But after that last touchdown, Johnson getting up on his feet, encouraging his teammates, even gave a high five to Cam Thomas as the defense head back out on the field.
Well, he's a leader. He's going to do that. He's got a chance as Bowling Green gets the stop they much needed, Kevin. Now with 8:15 to go, flags fly. And they're going to do this again.
I think they're going to get Western Kentucky moving a little early there.
Yep. Sounds like it. There's a look at Matt Johnson. Courtney just told him about it. I loved what he said when the Falcons found out Dino Babers would be their head coach. He said, we really didn't know who he was, so they did what everybody else does in the world now. You Google somebody, and they were all excited when they found out the kind of offense he was bringing.
And especially Matt Johnson. You hear the name Jimmy Garoppolo.
Defensive lineman in the neutral zone caused the offensive players to move. It's a 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
Clarification from Rogers.
Those calls are always so tough. There's a lot of guys yelling and screaming in there, moving early. Sometimes the refs, I think, just huddle up and say, hey, did anybody see anything particular? Okay, no, let's just pick a number and go.
So with this game, 38-17, Bowling Green getting it back. Burbrink back at his own 30. He's one of the best punt returners, numbers-wise, last season in all of college football. Was outstanding in the MAC. Here he goes, right on cue. Burbrink, oh, he tripped. Oh, he tripped over the 45-yard line. I think he was gone. Oh.
If there's ever been an example of Bowling Green's night, this is it. You said it. Second team All-MAC punt returner. Touchdown in his sights. Not so fast.
Well, that's our Chick-fil-A fan cam, and you see the reaction from the part of the student body here of Western Kentucky. Anytime you see a tally light on a camera and students, they're going to get fired up. That's our Chick-fil-A fan cam tonight, starting them young here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Their team has been great, leading 38-17, but this is one of those moments, Kevin O'Connell, where it can really sway the game. They're up 38-17 with 7:55 left in the third, and Bowling Green gets one. She's a little bit tighter.
Absolutely, and I think that's all Coach Babers wants right now. He would love to have that punt return for 6 right there, really hit the gas pedal and put the pressure on him, but his offense has found a little bit of a rhythm, and it's all about first and second down success and staying out of third down and long. Well, they can use that Falcon fast offense, Ben. They've been very productive tonight. It's when they've gotten behind the down and distance on the sticks and really had to fight their way back uphill, and Western Kentucky's been there waiting for him.
Burbrink was trying to do what he did last year in the opener. He had a 67-yard punt return against Tulsa, but his feet got tangled up, and he's marked down at the 49-yard line. So that's where Matt Johnson in the offense starts. 1st and 10. He's thrown for 188 yards, 17 of 26. He's got time, fires. It's caught by Jackson, and they try to pull it out of there, but they can't. First down, Bowling Green.
When you study Eastern Illinois and their offense from a year ago, Jimmy Garoppolo mastered this 5-wide formation and getting the ball out of his hands.
Flag flies, and Bowling Green trying to just go as fast as they can again.
I think they're going to get the offense this time, but how comfortable does it make you as a coach knowing that this is your normal tempo? You're not trying to go any faster than you normally do. It's out of a necessity right now.
Yeah, it is. 7:41
to
play.
Offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty, second down. First down.
Ronnie Moore, the wide receiver, the guilty one there. He's a big play, home run guy, to use a baseball analogy. He can really hit it out of the park. Maybe he will. A quarter and a half of this game left.
Have not called Ronnie Moore's name enough tonight. They got to find a way to get him the ball in space, because what we've seen Western Kentucky's receivers can do tonight, that's Ronnie Moore's specialty, making guys miss and making big plays in the open field.
5 wide over the middle, dangerous play. Here he goes. The throw, the catch. Moore breaks free to the 10. Moore to the end zone, right on cue. He takes it in for the Falcon touchdown.
Needed to see Ronnie Moore show up, and how big does he show up here? Exact point in time in the game they needed him to, and they find him. They ran that play to him. It's a middle screen, classic staple of Dino Babers' offense. They run that to perfection right there, and you saw the ability in the open field to make a couple guys miss. You're not going to catch Ronnie Moore.
So trying to make it a 14-point game is Tate, and he does. And you and I, we've obviously talked all week in preparing for this game, but this young man reminds me a lot of Dree Archer, who also played in the MAC at Kent State.
No question. You get him the ball and let him go to work. He's a guy that gets in the open field, and he just looks like he's moving a little bit faster than everybody else. Obviously excited there. He's lucky he didn't get a penalty.
Yeah, he could have, but he didn't. But Ronnie Moore, the sophomore, with a touchdown. And Kevin, we've touched on it. We'll revisit it. Jimmy Garoppolo, Eastern Illinois, the quarterback that Dino Babers had for a couple of years. You see the comparison, the difference in Matt Johnson, and obviously the question mark for the years under Babers. But at this point, his numbers keep going up tonight. And
I think the things that Jimmy Garoppolo did so well, Matt Johnson has the skill set for. He was accurate with the football. He's a good athlete, can distribute the football all over the field. But Matt Johnson has to take ownership of this thing. He had a great season a year ago, but one of the things Coach Babers talked about was you kind of have to forget how you've always done things and do it our way. Looks like he's starting to do that tonight.
So the Hilltoppers have the ball back. We're here tonight. There's a lot of football coming up tomorrow here on CBS Sports Network, and it all begins at noon. Eastern Ohio State and Navy from Baltimore. Vern, Gary, and Allie on the call. The San Diego State Aztecs, my partner's alma mater. That game presented by Geico, Northern Illinois, and San Diego State, and Washington and Hawaii close it out at 10:30 on the network.
Aztecs, 4 straight bowl games. Rocky Long, head football coach there, has really got that program rolling, both offensively and defensively. Really excited to see them play this year.
Here goes Western Kentucky. They fake the toss. Now they throw to the far side. The catch is made. Willie McNeil doing his thing. Gets it out near midfield. Broke a tackle and gets over the midfield line. So Willie McNeil getting involved here in the third quarter.
Coach Brahms' best play calls tonight have come on first down. Another great fake. And look at the big fellas out in front of this screen. You see Dangerfield as well. He's made his mark catching the football. How about another great block for his fellow receiver?
On the ground, and good chunk picked up there on the ground. This is Anthony Wales with the carry. First time we've called him. So we touched on it really before that last Bowling Green possession, how critical it was. The first thing that was critical was them to get the stop, which they did. Then they got the score, the big play from Ronnie Moore. Dumped off over the middle. They're going to get another first down here. Are the Hilltoppers. And the catch is made by Wales, his second straight touch.
Such a simple play. It looks like at home, folks, but Brandon Dowdy just went through 3 progressions and then found his check down. This guy's playing quarterback at a whole new level this year.
He's 36 of 43, closing in on the Western Kentucky completions record. It stood since the late 60s. He's 2 away from it. Good throw, good catch. Well done by Taylor. Forced out by Nick Johnson. 5:52 left in the third. Let's send it now to New York. Brent Stover in the studio with an update for us. Well, we'll get to the guys when we can, the next opportunity. Meanwhile, Western Kentucky, Kevin, trying to do what they've been doing, and that's take it straight down the field with 5.5 to go in the third.
You mentioned the completion record for Brandon Dowdy. He's red hot right now. This guy can't miss.
He's in the zone. Got hit there, dumped it off. The catch is made. School record there. That's Wales getting involved on this possession quite a bit. So Brandon Dowdy has had a career night. 38th completion. Tonight, the record set in 69 by Johnny Vince.
And if he's not sold on this new Jeff Brom style of ball control and taking what the defense gives you, I don't know if he ever will be. This has been fantastic tonight for Brandon Dowdy.
It's been fun to watch. We get it down to the 20-yard line. Jeff Brom in his first game as a college head coach. Head coach more than 10 years ago of an Arena 2 football team, and in the college ranks his first head coaching job, and he's got a team that's trying to put 40 plus on the board on this drive. Dowdy fires, throws it into the end zone, a perfectly thrown ball. That's his guy. They call him Steady Eddie, Mr. Reliable. Willie McNeil with the touchdown.
Brandon Dowdy, enough's been said. He sets the school record, but this might have been the play of the night for the senior. Not the most athletic guy in the world, but how about this throw back across his body? Last year, I would have been shaking my head. No, don't throw it. This year, bullseye. Unbelievable football out of the quarterback from Western Kentucky. Special, special night.
Schwetman to try to tack on the PAT. Brandon Dowdy, 485 yards passing. He's closing in on the Western.
Brent Stover in New York. Syracuse struggling with Villanova. Loose Wildcat. Poppy Livers, 67 yards on the punt return touchdown. Villanova just lined up for a field goal to tie the game. But a penalty.
A career night for Brandon Dowdy. Let's take a look at how it happened. Willie McNeil on the backside of the play. This is the first time tonight Brandon Dowdy's had to roll out of the pocket. You'll see him move away from pressure. Like we said, not the most athletic guy in the world, but finds his senior receiver getting wide open for him. And when you're making throws like that, Ben, there's not much you can't accomplish, at least in your own mind. And Jeff Brom thinks he's got himself a player. He certainly does in his quarterback.
So Brandon Dowdy leading a 8-play, 77-yard drive. Took 253. Willie McNeil, the 20-yard catch. 39 of 46 for 485. He needs 10 yards to set the all-time yardage record in a game. He's already broken the completion number, which was 37. He's at 39 now. I mean, the word confidence is so big in this game.
I cannot tell you how big this will be for him the rest of this season.
Wow.
Nights like this, they stick with you, Ben. Yeah. As a quarterback, you can come back to how you were feeling, how you prepared this week, what was told to you by the coaches, what let you get put in this situation to have the night you're having. The jump that he can make from a night like this, you can't measure that.
No, you can't. Bowling Green now down 45-24. Get it out close to the 20-yard line. More than 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Coppin on the kick return. So here comes Matt Johnson. They're going to try to take a quick trot down the field. You see the total yards on the I-bar, 382 for Bowling Green, 545 for Western Kentucky, and some of the other particulars rolling through. The first downs, 52 in the game. No surprise there.
I'm thinking back to some of those early drops. He could be well over 500 yards right now. And Matt Johnson in this Bowling Green offense, you just got to try to find a way to go get some points.
Falcon fast offense. As they snap it, Johnson does the smart thing. I was going to say about Nick Holt, if he had any hair left, he'd probably be yanking it out, but he's gone with the swimmer look, got rid of it all. So that backs him up to the 10-yard line. officially the 11 now, we're told. Johnson, number 11, trying to get free. Flag comes in from way back out near midfield. There's Nick Holt. The pressure was applied there by big number 99, Devon Isaac.
I think you're going to get some illegal contact pass interference in the secondary of Western Kentucky. It's a tough call on a scramble like that.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 8 of the defense. 15-yard penalty added on to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Marcus Ward, sophomore out of Birmingham, Alabama. Called for the penalty. So first and 10 now from the 30. Johnson steps, quick throw. He's got Lewis. Lewis will get close to the first down stick. Gets about 9. Second and short coming up. Clock running. 3:20 and counting. Johnson, this play blown up. There's the defensive coordinator. His son was involved in that play. And it was interesting. His son basically, literally and figuratively, an extension of the coach. He talked about that a lot, how well he can call the defense and help him out. Over the middle, looking for Garrick Dieter, incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
Been that kind of night for Bowling Green. Matt Johnson getting through his progression. Accurate throw. Just not able to squeeze it. The SMU transfer, who they're expecting a lot of big things from this year. Getting towards the point where Western Kentucky's running away with things. There's going to be a lot Bowling Green's going to wish they would have done differently from the beginning. A lot of drop footballs. The penalty numbers is too high. Coach Dino Babers is not going to be very happy.
Davidson on to punt, standing at his own 20. Gets it away, high punt. Fair catch called for, and they'll have it at the 23-yard line. Let's get on to Courtney with more. Courtney.
Yeah, guys, you talk about Jeff Brom in his first year as the Western Kentucky head coach. A lot of things stayed the same from Bobby Petrino, leaving his influences as a philosophy for a coach. He wants his own philosophy, but he's been in the NFL. He's had plenty of coaches that have influenced him. Romeo Crennel, a former alum, going back to his coaching days. He's worked with Howard Schnellenberger and a bunch of other guys. But he's really trying to make his own mark on this team, and he's doing pretty well right now.
He is doing quite well. Proud family of players and coaches. The Brom family as well. On top of all the guys Courtney mentioned there. And Romeo Crennel, who attended school here, and a visit. Talking with Jeff.
Romeo now the defensive coordinator for Bill O'Brien with the Houston Texans. I wonder if Romeo gave him some hints on how to beat up on this Bowling Green defense. Because from the jump tonight, Jeff Brom's had defensive coordinator Kim McLeod's number every step of the way.
Flag comes, they're saying
Ball
procedure.
Start. Offense, number 86, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Tim Gorski, one of their tight ends. He'll make his way off the field after that. .55 and counting here in the third, remaining in the quarter. 7 for 65, the penalty numbers on Western Kentucky. Downey stands in, fires. Catch made. Sutton trying to bring down the ball carrier. They stripped it out of there. Who's got it? Good work in there. Gabe Martin came in to help out. Dangerfield continues to make catches and try to make things happen. He's had a big night.
This will be the ultimate test for a guy who's red hot at the quarterback position. Basically a long yardage third down. You just find a way to get yourself a manageable third down. You don't, it's 3rd and 13. You're up big in the game. You feel like you can make any throw, but you got to be smart with the ball.
3rd and 13, as Kevin mentioned. Great job of getting open. That's a first down as Taylor makes the catch. Taywan Taylor, he's got a touchdown. He's had a big night. Here's the latest in his work.
I don't think we've talked about this Western Kentucky offensive line enough. That pocket was huge. Dowdy steps right up in the middle of it and fires yet another strike like we'd expect anything else at this point.
So Brandon Dowdy with that completion, a new school record, 508 yards tonight. From the gun. Trying to make that catch near the 45-yard line. Not able to make it was Higbee, one of those three tight ends.
I think that's the first throw I've seen Dowdy miss in about 3/4 of football now. It really truly has been the closest thing to a perfect night for him. School record, he already owns the school records for passing yards and completion percentage in a season. How about his close to 85% starting off this season on his way to breaking his own record?
Yeah, where he was up near 70, right?
65 a year ago.
Checks off here, another big chunk of real estate. Good job to stay in bounds with a hand there by Wales. He's had some opportunities here. I beg your pardon, that was Allen. Allen did a nice job. Wales has had opportunities too. Ajay Barima forced him out.
This play is right out of the 2013 playbook. Just no more Antonio Andrews. Leon Allen, look at the balance. Coaches did say they love the way he catches the football out of the backfield.
Nearly a first down here. Do they got it? Nope, they're a yard short. They get 9. That's going to be the final play.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Of the third quarter. 45-24, Western Kentucky, their first game as a member of Conference USA. 4 fingers in the air. The fourth is coming back. It's college football presented by Geico. Some of the sights here at Western Kentucky tonight. Great night for Brandon Dowdy and their offense. 45-24 as we begin the fourth quarter. Second down and 1 once play resumes for the Hilltopper offense. Dowdy with 5 touchdowns. He's already set the completion record, the yardage record. Can he break the touchdown one? That'll be the next question, I suppose.
Looking at the situation, 2nd and 1. We got a former quarterback that threw a lot of touchdowns in his day calling the plays. This smells like a shot to the end zone right here for me. Learn a little bit about Jeff Brom as the play caller on this snap.
Saw Dangerfield on the field. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Keep it on the ground. Gabe Martin really sniffed that play out. Great job by him breaking through and taking down the ball carrier right there by the Grand Blanc, Michigan product.
No matter what the score is, you expect Lynch and Martin to continue to fly around and try to make plays. Guys are 2 good players.
Third down. They're not going to get him in the backfield this time. Excellent job. It took about 4 Bowling Green players to get Leon Allen down there. First down.
3rd and less than a yard. Give it to the big fella, 235 pounds, coming right at you. I got to tell you, Ben, I would not want to have to tackle this guy when he gets ahead of steam.
Here they feed him again. Gets it inside the 10.
You surprised at all that they're keeping this no-huddle tempo up as much as they are, not eating a little bit more clock?
Not really, because it's worked, right? So the old adage, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? I suppose that would be my answer. The Red Zone today is being brought to you by Verizon. And the Red Zone has been very kind to Western Kentucky in this game.
Which you didn't expect coming in. Bowling Green was number 3 in the country a year ago at red zone defense. They were able to stop a lot of drives before teams were able to score, but Western Kentucky's had their way tonight.
Hilltoppers knocking on the door again. 3rd and goal from the 5. Dowdy, a couple guys that way. Throws, catch touchdown, Western Kentucky. Brandon Doughty with his 6th touchdown of the night. Dangerfield again with a grab, and it's 51-24.
One of the obvious improvements to go along with everything else we've seen from Doughty tonight, his athleticism. That's the 2nd touchdown we've now seen, him rolling to his right. And how about the me to you factor? This is the old Tom Brady to Randy Moss, get open in the end zone for me. This is unbelievable stuff we're seeing from guys. Folks, they've only been together for less than 1 offseason. The JUCO transfer fitting right in with what's been a career night for Brandon Doughty. This is unbelievably impressive. Kid's put in a lot of work and it's paying off.
He's broken the completion record, the yardage, single game yardage record, 52-24. Schwetman tacks it on with that touchdown, now 6 touchdown passes. What a night for the product of Davie, Florida.
As Doughty rolls out, this is what we're talking about, folks. Go ahead and play it and we'll see. These receivers they're not open, but they continue to work, and there's the big 6'3" receiver. 2nd time Doughty's used the big fella down here in the red zone to capitalize. And get used to that, Hilltopper fans, because at 6'3", his ability to go up and get the football and the way Doughty is delivering it could be a lot of touchdowns in order from number 12 to number 21 this year.
It's a young man who has turned in an amazing record-setting night tonight. That play, that drive was 11 plays, 77 yards, a little over 4 minutes. That might be the longest drive of the night for them.
It's getting to the point where I always wondered as a quarterback, baseball has that tip of the cap. You throw a no-hitter, you come out on the top step and tip the hat. You expect to see this backup quarterback at some point. Obviously, I think it would be Fishback, Nelson Fishback, yes. But you almost wish Doughty could get that tip of the cap moment and let these Western Kentucky fans appreciate him a bit. He's had maybe the best night in the history of the school at the quarterback position.
Ronnie Moore on the kick return, and let's take a look. The folks out in our truck work hard to put together these packages. Here's a look at Doughty's work tonight.
And you'll notice early on in this game, short passes and receivers doing a lot of the work. No matter whether it's been Taylor or Dangerfield or McNeil, it really has not mattered. They're all catching the football and getting the end zone, but in the second half, Doughty stayed red hot, but he's getting the ball down the field a little bit. This was my favorite pass of the night, on the run. Not a lot of guys in college football can make these throws consistently. He's done it all night long. And once again, there's the big fella, Dangerfield. Excited to watch this team the rest of the season. I know you and I will get a chance to see them here in November, but what a night for this guy, and Jeff Brom's got to be excited.
So school records, completions, yards, and touchdowns. I'm having an issue with the clock here, as you can see. Power's out. We'll step out for a minute. 52-24. Western Kentucky leads. We'll be right back. The young man in the middle of your screen can probably go anywhere in this town and eat for free. He's had a career night. Brandon Doughty, his team leads 52-24 here in the 4th quarter. And tomorrow, who knows, maybe he'll tune in, watch Ohio State and Navy. They're playing right here on CBS Sports Network. Urban Meyer's guys take on Keenan Reynolds and the midshipmen. The only place to see 5th-ranked Ohio State right here, 12 Eastern. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Allie LaForce will have the call from Baltimore. And the clock, as we went to break, was out. And you made a nice off-air comment that I think you should share, how they fixed the clock. Maybe number 12 fixed the clock.
I think Brandon Doughty ran down and fixed it real quick.
He's driving the bus, too. He's doing everything.
Unbelievable. I'm sure Bowling Green wished that those numbers weren't real when they turned it back on.
My goodness. Still virtually the entire 4th quarter. Bowling Green no quit in their game. Here's a dump off, and it's caught, and on the run goes Lewis. He's been impressive tonight for Bowling Green. He's a good weapon.
Really like this guy, Roger Lewis, the freshman, good size at 6'1", 196, and he's catching the football, which has been a necessity for this team tonight after some early drops. Solid performance by the freshman.
Travis Green following the guard on the near side, gets across midfield to the 49-yard line. So Green, who a year ago shattered all kinds of records for Bowling Green, Florida product. Fake from Johnson. Now will fire and unable to make that catch. The tight end Pullman.
You said it, partner. The pump fake. That only works when you've been able to set that up with a lot of those quick screens, and they've been able to do that a little bit. But quite frankly, with the score 52-24, you're not going to win on a lot of double moves. You're going to have to take what they give you, complete passes, get the ball down the field, a la Western Kentucky tonight.
3rd and 5. Johnson on the run. Now he'll fire. Flag down. Catch made by Dieter. He keeps plowing his way forward down just over the 35-yard line, but we'll have to check the marker that's at the 35.
A lot of contact between Dieter and the defender on the play.
Nick Holt involved in the tackle. We'll hear from referee Brad
Holding,
Rogers.
defense, number 10. That penalty is declined. First down.
Well, he was involved because he was holding.
It's a tough matchup.
Yes,
tough matchup for Nick Holt. I wonder who's coaching that guy.
So 1st and 10 now. Back to work goes Bowling Green. Garrick Dieter. His parents, Dieter's parents, there's Nick Holt, are clearly big New York Yankee fans because he has a brother named Thurman. So Thurman Munson, Lou Gehrig. Gehrig in the slot to the near side on the hash mark. Johnson pressured, and they get him, and they drop him. They get in, they get the quarterback for the sack. Good work. Good push up front. Tanner Reeves.
Matt Johnson's been under pressure a lot tonight. They run a little stunt inside to free up Tanner Reeves, and the redshirt freshman getting in on the act. They've got some playmaking young players. They did tell us they go 22 deep with guys that can make plays, and that depth is going to be tested all season long, especially in the conference that they're in now, Conference USA. Offenses like Marshall and some of these other up-tempos be ready to substitute.
Bring the heat. Ball gets out of there in a hurry. Jackson makes the catch, breaks a tackle. And he's forced out of bounds. Good job by Jackson there on the catch and the work to get the yardage.
Third down, 6 to go.
Keith Jackson pickup of 8. Six. Garrett Dieter's got the catch, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, down inside the 10, 1st and goal.
Another screen on 3rd down. I think this is a product of the pressure that Matt Johnson's been under. It looks like there's a defender down on the field.
Injured Hilltopper down is Rico Brown. Trainer's out to 10 to him, reaching for his left leg. They're going to get him situated. Home state player out of Berea, Kentucky. That was something you mentioned a play ago, and that's a good sign there as they get him up. That guy right there said, hey, we don't have as many impact guys on our defense right now as they did last year. They had Xavier Boyd, they had Andrew Jackson, they had Jonathan Dowling. Guys that are now gone and in the NFL, but they did have the depth. They built some depth there.
And the depth is there, and they're getting some time tonight. You see Rico Brown. We just saw a sack by Tanner Reeves. These guys are on the 2D of this defense, and they're getting some high-quality work against a good offense tonight because of the lead that they have.
Here's Green up the middle, and Green takes it in for the touchdown for Bowling Green. 52-30 with 10:52 left in the ball game.
There's one thing we know is Bowling Green and Dino Babers, they don't have any quitting them. So we're going to see them take this thing all the way to the end. They know they can score quickly. You never know, Benny.
So Tyler Tate on. Travis Green, the redshirt junior. Had 11 touchdowns last season, gets his first here tonight for Dino Babers and Bowling Green. Still a lot of time left. 9 plays, 69 yards, 237, capped by the run by Green. Well, let's take a look at some news and notes around college football. Ohio State, we've told you, if you don't know, Ohio State Navy, noon Eastern tomorrow right here on our network. We're proud to have it. Braxton Miller, he's named a captain. He's going to have season-ending injury, or surgery, I should say, because of the injury. And then let's go to the SEC in Alabama, Kevin.
Yeah, Alabama finally deciding who's going to start at quarterback. All indications are it's going to be Blake Sims, but I still expect to see the very talented Jake Coker, the transfer from Florida State. Louisville, obviously, a huge loss. You talk about losing Teddy Bridgewater, that's one thing, but then his number one option from a year ago was going to be the big-time player in Devontae Parker. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, and foot injuries with wide receivers, that 6 to 8 weeks could turn into 12 very, very quickly. So that's something to keep an eye on. And then the story at USC. I know you and I have been trying to keep up with this all week long. What a strange story that I think it just shows nowadays with Twitter and all the social media out there. You don't want to lie. Whatever you do, just tell the truth. Whatever happened, and I'm sure we'll find out soon enough the whole story, but what a story out there at Southern Cal.
Yes, with Josh Shaw. We were talking the other night. To me, you think back to, what, 2 or 3 years ago, you had the story. To me, it's the biggest story that turned awful for the player, and that was Manti Te'o. So this is a much different situation. This has I think, a much more serious effect on both the player and potentially the program.
There's no question. And you talk about losing your best corner. The week before the season starts, we showed Marcus Mariota, we showed Brett Hundley. There's a lot of offense that Steve Sarkisian's SC team has to worry about. Now they're doing it without their best defensive player.
They are. Let's go down to Courtney for an injury update. Courtney.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, I'm standing on the sidelines right here next to redshirt senior Rico Brown, who went down on that last defensive drive. He cannot put any pressure on that left knee, appears to be in a lot of pain right now. The medical staff and training staff is giving him an IV of fluids. I'll give you an update when more comes along.
We look forward to that. 10:52 left in the ball game. Tonight it's been for Brandon Doughty, and that pass is just simply dropped by Nicholas Norris.
If they indeed are giving him IV fluids, I know it's not a great thing to have to watch on the sidelines, but that's good news when you're talking about knee injuries, because that means it's muscle, and the heat here in Bowling Green has caught up with them, but that's a lot better off than the alternative.
Interesting set here. Doughty to the near side. Dangerfield's got it. A stiff arm there and takes the defender out of bounds. So Dangerfield continues to rack up yardage. It's been impressive tonight. A couple of touchdowns in his first game as a member of the Western Kentucky team. 3rd and 5 coming up. Doughty, school record for completions, yardage, and touchdowns. You surprised he's still in, Kevin?
You know what? I think that this might be maybe his last series, but as he continues to distribute the football, Dangerfield again on another completion. I don't know if Coach Brom wants to let this rhythm slip. They've got 11 more games. Keep this thing going as strong as you can. But I know, talking yesterday with the coaching staff, there was a lot of anxiety, maybe not anxiety, but anticipation of what this offense would look like. They talked to us about the tempo that we saw out here today, but I think they have to be so excited, not only about how their quarterbacks played, the offensive line has played well, and 10 receptions for Dangerfield in his debut. This has just been impressive all the way around.
Taywan Taylor's got 11 grabs. Doughty, who last year, his first year as a starter for Western Kentucky, a team that won 8 games. They were 8-4. Keep it on the ground to Anthony Wales. They won 8 games. They played Arkansas State at the end of the year. They won the game in dramatic fashion. They didn't go to a bowl game. The team that lost went to the bowl game. Go figure.
And I think that's one of the biggest reasons they find themselves in Conference USA now. You win 8 games, in my opinion, and you beat the team that ends up going ahead of you. I know they finished with a higher winning record in conference, but to me, that's a head scratcher for me, and I know it was for this whole program. bowl games are rewards. And I know a lot of people think there's too many bowl games, but for schools like Western Kentucky that are building something special, those bowl games at the end of the season are very, very important.
This is Leon Allen. He's close to a first down, and I think based on, oh, they're stepping back a little. It's going to be close to a first down, but kept it on the ground on that right side. They got it? Yep, move the chains. So Western Kentucky, it's a big week around here. Of course, that man's debut as the head coach. Conference USA, you'll see several Conference USA games right here on CBS Sports Network throughout the course of the year. We'll have a couple of more, Kevin. We'll be looking forward to those. And we'll see Western Kentucky against Army in November here. They met last year. That was a dramatic down to the wire win for the Hilltoppers, with Antonio Andrews winning the game with about 30 seconds left. They bobble the toss here. Allen in trouble, and he'll just go down somewhat at the 36-yard line as Brian Baird was in there on the stop.
Obviously a negative play there, and seemed like a good pitch. Maybe a little too much steam on it, but Leon Allen's got to catch that one. He'll take the blame for that one tomorrow. It's a shame because he's lucky that doesn't count against his completion percentage, a backward pitch like that, because he's hit everything throwing it forward tonight. It's funny that his throwing it backwards 3 yards end up being one of the harder things he does tonight.
Yep, Jeff Brom. There's 7:53 left. His team's up 52 to 31. Still coaching hard, like a coach always does.
Really enjoyed getting a chance to catch up with him yesterday. Hearing about him keeping 6 guys from a staff with a guy like Coach Petrino leaving, I think that says a lot about the culture that he's created here.
That's Brandon Ray, one of their starters up front. We'll get you an update on him when we can from Courtney. And it's been hot. Hard to stay hydrated on a day for these players when they're playing at the level they're playing at. The humidity's high. Brown went down. Courtney told us about a couple of minutes ago. It's kind of the initial thought that he was reaching down that left thigh. And taking him to the locker room, we're told, is on the ground again. The Hilltoppers go to Leon Allen. Gabe Martin is a tackling machine for Bowling Green. Their best defensive player, according to their coaches, made the stop there. Leon Allen, their guy. Something else they talked about with us. We saw Wales a couple of possessions here, Kevin, in the second half. They said, we got to find out if he's our every down guy for certain, right?
Well, they need to find out about Leon Allen, but they were very quick to tell us he's our guy.
Okay.
Obviously, Anthony Wales is going to be a guy that his main role, and the offensive coordinator, Tyson Helton, told us, is to keep number 33 fresh. So he's got to be ready to have an impact.
There he goes, making an impact here. They took the play clock all the way down. Sutton was the first to get to him. Are you kidding me? That's the kind of night it's been for that guy there and Western Kentucky's entire team. Let's go down to Courtney for an injury update on a couple of Hilltoppers.
Yeah, guys, you mentioned that it's very hot out here. Guys are starting to cramp up on the field. Put up 52 points so far. A lot of these guys coming off just with exhaustion, tired muscles, getting intravenous fluids. We had Henry go over to the locker room inside just to get some fluids, and the head athletic trainer said that they'll both be back.
All right, thank you. Is on the ground again, and that, my friends, is what you call finishing a run. Leon Allen right into Nick Johnson.
235 pounds. Defensive backs. Look out. You can hear that all the way up here, Benny.
You could. Western Kentucky with a new school record of total offense, 662 yards. Allen approaching 100 yards tonight on the ground, Kev.
There's no question that Coach Brown preached finishing. But right now, the Bowling Green sideline, you see them, you see the defense. It's starting to look really demoralizing out there. This is something in the opener, no matter whether you're home, away, winning or losing. You don't want to put that kind of attitude and body language on tape, because every team they play will see this. They're going to tell their guys, hey, it was the fourth quarter, they were down, and this was the team they turned into. So Bowling Green's got to be very careful about how they're letting this game get away from them a little bit from a physical standpoint, allowing Western Kentucky to take over.
Nearly 700 yards, nearly, well, 451 for Bowling Green. Falcons came into this game. Last year, 16 returning starters, 8 on offense. They won 10 games. They won the MAC title game. Tom Izzo always had a great line I loved. He said, not to say that this happened, but he always said sometimes you get fat and sassy. You think too much of yourself.
Well, everybody's been talking. Everything you read was not only about the defense, the tradition, the seniors they have back, but Matt Johnson and Green and these receivers and how they would fit so perfectly. I said it in the open, how they would fit so perfectly in Dino Baber's system. The only problem is they ran into a team tonight that obviously had a great training camp and came out with a better plan tonight, obviously shell-shocked by what the Hilltoppers had to offer.
Yes, indeed. 4:15 remaining in the ball game. Western Kentucky is going to take the time all the way down. Just trying to chew it up. Second 11 coming up from the 25 for them. Another bullet delivered. Trying to get more and trying to get toward the end zone is Taylor. He has had a monster night as Taylor. Nick Johnson has been busy. Daryl Hunter was ejected earlier, so Johnson stepped up.
One of the things you notice about this Western Kentucky offense is their ability to spread the field. They make you defend every blade of grass. And this artificial turf has been burned up tonight by these receivers making yards after catch.
That's 12 catches now for $185 and a touchdown for Taywan Taylor. 40 first downs for Western Kentucky tonight. 3.5 to go. Dowdy fires and a little too high for a big target there. He was trying to go to Tim Gorski, the 6'7" product of Chicago.
Don't know if we've seen Mitchell Henry back in the game since he went down. Something to keep an eye on, obviously. But Dowdy, again, a little pressure there. And now you start asking your questions. When do you get him out of the game? Because he did just take a shot right there. I know they're trying to punch this one in, maybe one last score. Let him ice down that shoulder after all these pass attempts tonight.
We need to just get one of the buckets, one of the trash cans, right? Soak in that. Side of the 5 on the toss. Anthony Wales gets it close to the goal line. Gil Crowley on the tackle for Bowling Green. So 3, 4, 5 and counting. Outcome of this one no longer in doubt. Just the final score. And the Hilltoppers take it in once again for another touchdown, and their fans to their feet. It's been a banner night as Wales finds the end zone to make it 58-31.
Finishing off yet another drive with 6, Ben. Western Kentucky's shown a little bit of everything tonight, all built around their quarterback, but you're starting to get to the point where 2:55 to go and to punch that one in. Dino might remember that one down the road.
Western Kentucky leads the ball game now. 59-31, 2:55 remaining. Final timeout for us. Hilltoppers 7 for 7 in the red zone tonight. It's been their night so far. Record-setting night for Brandon Dowdy, the quarterback for Western Kentucky. His team up 59-31 with 2:55 to go in the game. And his resume tonight, it is quite extensive and it's quite impressive. He is our Geico difference maker for the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. He's on top of the hill in several departments: completions, yardage, and touchdowns in a single game. And the marquee, when you get on the Geico difference maker marquee, you know you've had a big night, Kevin, and it has been a monster night for that young man.
This is going to be a night he remembers for a long time. And how about if you're a quarterback in Conference USA? You're going to be staring up at Brandon Dowdy's name in the stat column all the way across the board. You've got some work to do if you plan on catching him.
Yep. So he's getting congratulations. There's guy, he goes again. The two guys we talked about, what, 3.5 hours ago, Thomas and Dowdy to lead him.
No question. And how about Dowdy? Took so much heat a year ago. Jeff Brom had control of that quarterback room, just talked about weathering the storm and getting better every day. Culminated here tonight.
It did. In a big way. Take our final timeout of the night. 2:48 left. All Hilltoppers 59-31. They lead it.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by LG. Visit LG.com/NCAA to learn how LG can help you do game day right. By Icy Hot Smart Relief TENS Therapy. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Corvette Museum here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Brandon Dowdy's night is done. 59 points scored, the most since they joined the FBS in 2008. And the expectations now, Jeff Brom and his guys, they're going to be 1-0 in his first game, his first career win as a college head coach. And they were impressive, I should say.
Got to tell you, if I'm Illinois, looking ahead to next weekend, Western Kentucky travels there Saturday. My eyes are wide open watching the tape of Western Kentucky this week, getting ready for that one.
Yep. And they came out fast. They came out getting after it, as they said they needed to. They were the team. They were the sharper team. They did it from the opening drive.
As impressive as the records are and the touchdowns are, let's not forget that 0 in the interception column for Dowdy. This is a guy that threw 8 in 2 games a year ago, got benched. The lows and highs of playing the quarterback position, it doesn't get much better than this.
So a new quarterback for Bowling Green. They take Matt Johnson out. James Napke is in. And Western Kentucky just clogging things up in the middle. Let's talk a little. Obviously, you talk a lot about Brandon Dowdy, but defensively for Jeff Brom, I mean, they give up 31. But what they did early, that said it, right?
Well, you wondered what the tempo would do to Nick Holt's pressure package. Would they get the calls in? Their number one goal was just to get lined up and communicate and not turn anybody loose. And for the most part, they did turn somebody loose on the first drive early in the game, second drive maybe. Yeah. But other than that, they've been technically sound, fundamentally sound. They've tackled better than Bowling Green. I think he'll take this effort against a good offense.
Yeah, you think back to that play where Pullman got for you to tight end. They had him down the middle. It was a sure touchdown. You wonder, you know, it's easy for us to sit in armchair quarterback, but maybe that was a play where that threw him out of sync. Who knows?
Well, there was a lot of drops early, penalties. Bowling Green just did not show up early as a football team. You need 11 guys executing against a good team like Western Kentucky. Their home opener, the energy is going to be high, and they just did not match that from the opening kick.
So 90 seconds remaining in the ball game. Play clock down to 5 seconds now. 80 seconds left in the game. Napke, the product of Fort Wayne, Indiana, hands it off. Western Kentucky still getting after it, playing like it's early in the game. And here's a look at their upcoming schedule. Kevin, you mentioned Illinois, Middle Tennessee State. They can play. You'll see them against Navy here on the network, UAB, and Florida Atlantic.
I'll tell you what, the schedule sets up, if they can keep the momentum, to maybe shock some people and go and beat Illinois. And then Middle Tennessee State, they've got a developing program. That Navy team could be coming off of a victory against Ohio State, so you never know.
Yep, who knows? And Western Kentucky, there's the second ice bucket challenge that Jeff Brom's done. That probably feels pretty good right now because she's still steamy down there on the field. Half a minute left in the game. And Brom gets the water bucket on him. Bowling Green, their upcoming schedule. They'll be home against VMI in Indiana, at Wisconsin, at UMass, and then they'll take on Buffalo, who you and I will see next week at Army. So as time winds down, Western Kentucky They call it the Brom Squad. The Brom Squad was well in check tonight. Jeff Brom's got his first career win as a college head coach. This
And
one
your
to
final
final.
score,
Western Kentucky 59. Bowling Green 31 tonight.
31. Celebration for Hilltopper victory at Burger
Courtney's
King.
down
Bye-bye
with the
and
star
Walker
offensively
and
of this game.
71-3.
What a star he is. Quarterback Brandon Dowdy, you set a school record for completions, yardage, touchdowns, 7 for 7 in the red zone. What was working for you tonight?
Well, I just got to thank God. You know, our offensive line was working so hard. We worked all week on scoring in the red zone. That was a big emphasis for us. And, you know, we just really worked hard today, and I thought we did a really good job. So,
Obviously, the first win for Jeff Brom, former quarterback, now a head coach. What have you learned from having a former quarterback call your plays?
well, first off, Coach Brown is very easy to play for. You know, he cares about our players all the time, man, and he does a really good job. X's and O's, understands where we're going to go with the ball at every single moment in the game. So I'm really honored and proud to be a player for him, head coach.
What a night for you. Congratulations, and good luck the rest of the season. Yep. Back to you.
Brandon Dowdy, closing thought from you.
Just an unbelievable opener for Western Kentucky. Coach Jeff Brown, congratulations, and Brandon Dowdy, big-time opener.
Fun, Kevin. We'll do it again for Kevin O'Connell, Courtney Fallon, all of our crew. Ben Holt saying, hope you enjoyed it. It's our pleasure to bring it to you. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.